Good
Hey,
afternoon. Good
everybody.
Sunday. Welcome everybody to another episode of Four Corners Legacy Podcast. You know what it is, Valley Uno.
And it's Miss My.
What's up, Tucson?
What's happening? These are the locomotive up in here, man. Four corners. Happening.
What's happening?
Yeah, we
How's everybody doing?
doing good over here. How y'all doing?
I'm
Good.
blessed.
Yes.
Alive.
Well, some people didn't make it, so we got to take that. That's a big blessing right there.
Indeed,
The gift
it
of
is.
life. The gift of life.
Mhm.
I love that background, Deez. That's what's his name? Caesar, right?
Nah, that
Caesar.
ain't Caesar.
That's not Caesar is home.
I should have looked up Caesar, but yeah.
Caesar is home. Okay, so welcome everybody to Four Corners Legacy Podcast. Today is our 10th episode. How y'all feeling? 10 episodes in.
It's a hell of a feeling, like, to just look at it and see we've been rocking that hard for the number of weeks that we have. And yeah, it feels good. Feels good.
Feels good.
Look, with that good feeling, I hope everybody has an understanding of what's necessary to make sure that you're live on your particular Facebook page.
Yes, I'm checking that as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We are live action.
Live and direct.
So, get it in early this time. If you have not done it already, anybody who's on here, who comes and taps in, if you haven't done it already, be sure to go over to YouTube and like, share, and subscribe. Okay. We want to be able to make sure we can reach as many people as possible, and that y'all are set up to get the notifications for anything we put out that's relative to the show. So like, share, subscribe, please, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. We thank you for the people who have been watching week after week. It seems like our fan base is growing a little bit, or that our family is participating a little bit more. So we're excited about that. Tusav, can you turn your phone back around the other way, please?
I think she froze.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It looked like she having some sort of issue.
All right, well.
So what we got going on this week? What we talking about?
We got a little bit of stuff to look at as far as the current affairs go, but I don't want to kick it off. I'll let somebody else jump into that because I think both of y'all stuff is probably more well, I don't know. You kick it off, Deez. I think yours is gonna be light the fire. So come on with your current events. I wanna go ahead and get that fire started.
All right, the first thing I wanted to talk about was Michael B. Jordan. He recently received the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and the brother's been constantly making moves and leveling up and doing good, and it's always some negative backlash and things surrounding this brother, and I don't know. I think he needs his flowers, so I support the man, and I thought that was a big deal myself.
Okay.
Definitely, it's a big deal at his young age to already be getting a star on the Walk of Fame. That is a big deal. It's definitely worth a round of applause. He's done a lot of movies, and I feel like he is definitely underrated, like you said.
Yeah. So
I mean, I guess it's fair to say that he really ain't underrated if he getting that star.
That's true.
He might just be, not getting the recognition in the, certain arenas of people, but on the grand scheme of things, obviously somebody know what's up with him because he getting that star.
Yeah, that is true. Valid point.
I guess I'm not sure who this lady's name is because Like I don't.
It's L'Oreal. L'Oreal is her name.
Yeah, I guess this lady L'Oreal caught him on the red carpet or whatever at the thing for his show, and he basically called her out because she had called him corny in high school, and a lot of kids used to tease him in Newark or wherever he was from because he brought headshots and shit to school and different things of that nature. So they basically, how our community is. He'd have been better off bringing a gun to school.
He would have been more well received, is what
it
you're
would have
saying?
been more well received if he'd have brought a gun to school or something. But yeah, so she had said some shit, and then she tried to dumb it down a little bit, but then she turned around and doubled back down, basically, and you had some women in the comments talking about he's cute or whatever, but he don't got no edge and this and this and that and that. And I don't know. I see the exact opposite, when I that's what's propelled him forward in his career is the edge he has.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. That what I was going to say in regards to it, because I guess the comment was that they said that he was corny back in school because he was, like you said, bringing headshots. And so sometimes when somebody is different, it's considered corny or a nerd or something like that. And they're just different. And I like to say right off the bat that you got to walk in your own path. You don't got to follow what anybody else says. The fact that they thought he was corny back then gave her the very stage that she's on now doing a red carpet. Now she's got to eat those words. So you got to be mindful of what you consider corny. So what I was saying is I just want the ladies, young ladies, older ladies, women in general, to be mindful of what we consider to be corny. I've done it myself in the past, dating a specific kind of guy. If he's had a car with some rims and some beat, or if he was, somewhat of thuggish or something, that's what I was into. And it's just a bad path to get on. I think we got to be excited about people's uniqueness. What makes somebody unique? You know what I mean? And so I think he was unique. I don't think he was corny.
I agree with you on that. As far as people automatically putting something in a category of corny or square or whatever you want to call it, because they see a difference in somebody from themselves. And you look at what he was doing. He bringing him headshots to school with him. Okay, so what that meant is the way I look at that is he was determined already. He had his life plan mapped out, and maybe
he did.
Maybe them headshots was, his daily vision board to remind himself of what it was that he was trying to lay out in front of him. You know what I mean? And somebody calling that corny or square or whatever, I really think that's a reflection of their own insecurity about not knowing who they is. And they look at this dude, he kind of already got pieces put together. Oh, he's corny, instead of just recognizing that they should probably be trying to take a page out of his book. You know what I mean? Because
imagine if people would have latched on to what he was doing, you know what I mean, and took a little moment to find interest in the things that he was, like you said, he had a life plan, he had some goals set out. He that could have been his vision board. Maybe if somebody would have latched on to him and said, hey, then it could spark something inside of them to start thinking about their path. That's why I said we got to be mindful of what we consider corny, what the kind of people we're staying away from. Oh, he's lame. Now look at this man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I have to point out that it's not like that in the white community, or the other Hispanic community, Asian communities. They're able to have people that are talented be recognized solely for their talent, no matter how they look, no matter what their orientation is or anything else for that matter.
True. Well, I think that they do things differently. Their setup may, if you're going to school and it's a whole bunch of, let's say, Caucasian people that go to the school, whatever, those kids may have a different path. They're not experiencing some of the things that the harsh realities that we are in our community. So that's already one thing. I think they're already set up and groomed to have something. So for people who are not used to seeing it, then that's what makes it stand out as different, because we don't see enough of it. So we have to start applauding those type of things.
I feel that. I would say though, I don't want to go as far as to say that it's not like that in other communities. Because I think envy and insecurity are things that is just synonymous with the human experience. I don't think that that's necessarily culturally related. It may not be as often or as predominant in other cultures, depending on where they sit as far as general success and accomplishments on a cultural basis. It may not be as predominant, but that's a part of the human experience. There's no way that it's just not taking place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think that that's something that we take notice of, number one, because it sits closer to us on a cultural level. And number two, that we probably been on the receiving end of it in some way or another. You know what I mean? And we would like to see that the differences in people's viewpoints. Like, hey man, it's all right for somebody to be doing what they supposed to be doing according to their life plan. You know what I mean? If that's their life plan, who am I to say something about that? Who am I to,
Right.
And am I on my game in my life plan if I even got time to be paying attention to that?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
a successful plan shouldn't be considered corny.
Not at all. Yeah, not at all.
I think I first took notice of Michael B. Jordan, and I know he was in other things prior to, but when I first came to know who he was from Fruitville Station. And Fruitville Station was kind of hit close to home because that story came out of Northern California, which, hey, shout out to NorCal. But so it came out of that. And I thought he did good in that. But he continued to grow his career and be selective of the type of roles that he took. And I just think that says a lot about who he is. I know when we were all talking about it, we had mentioned he was in a lot of stuff before anybody knew who he was.
Yeah, I think Fruitville Station put him on a lot of people's radar, even though he had been handling his wax prior to that. I think Fruitville Station put him on a lot of people's radar, and his career just kind of started to pick up after that. And then, with the Black Panther thing, obviously that took it to a next level. You know what I mean?
It really did. I mean, what the Creed movies took it to, from Fruitville to the Creed movies, and Black Panther shot it out the sky. You're right. Everybody knew who he was by the time he did Black Panther.
Yeah.
So what do we
go ahead? I'm sorry.
I would say, what do we think? What do you guys think about the word corny? Do you feel like girls, I don't think girls ever considered you guys corny. That wouldn't have been a word they used to describe you growing up. So that's not really something you guys could relate to. But did you feel like did you hear girls say that so-and-so was corny? And why would that come out?
I think you touched on that. And yeah, I mean, I didn't see it. I've made the observation of it, but I think you touched on it. It's a matter of somebody's perception. Again, why is it corny? Because it's different than what you would do. And if what you're doing is so great, how you even got time to pay attention to what somebody else doing? You know what I mean?
I think, and people don't understand, like, a lot of people, like, say for rappers, for instance, everybody tries to put them on this pedestal and all that stuff, but a lot of people look at them like they're goofy as fuck.
Yeah, no doubt. Shout out to the chat. I want to go ahead and throw this one up here because I could feel that. I love corny people because I'm corny. I wouldn't call you corny, Lovejoy. You're a little on the eccentric side, and I mean that in a good way. Please understand that's a compliment. I appreciate your uniqueness and how you're willing to live in it. So yeah, no doubt. Oh, look at this.
I see. Yeah, that's
this.
a good one.
We got my little lady in the house. What up, Liv? Okay, saying the
Hey,
word
Olivia.
for me would be in situations when someone says or does something I think is just different or weird that makes me giggle. Okay, so I guess it depends on how you take it, because the way she's breaking that down, it's not meant to be in a negative connotation. She's getting a chuckle out of it. She said it just makes her giggle. But not necessarily that it's bad.
Ooh, hold on a second, guys.
I'm so mad that I left my charger to my laptop in Georgia. I don't even know what to do.
Oh, you got it. We got you on here, so it's all good. You better have that thing shipped to you. Yeah.
Now I'm just gonna go buy another one. I didn't even realize I didn't have it because I didn't start my computer till this morning with that.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Okay, let's see.
I think people confuse tacky or whack for corny. I think so too. Well, I don't know about tacky, but definitely whack seems to be what's corny to people. Oh, he's whack. And again, and like what makes them different. It's something different. They're not doing what we consider to be the norm. So that's corny, but we need to normalize things like having a plan. We need to normalize about being business minded at a young age. That's the thing. Like if we normalize it, then things wouldn't be corny.
And we need to normalize individuality. If this is a part of who they are as an individual, embrace that, because there's no one way to do life. You know what I'm saying? There's no one way to do it. If that's what's working for him, then let that work for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And God created us all different for a reason.
Oh my goodness. Okay. She on one this morning. Okay, so like matching pajamas with your family on Christmas is definitely corny, but sending me 8 what you doing messages in an hour is definitely whack as fuck.
For sure. What you doing text messages are corny. I hate it. That I just got done talking to y'all about the good morning beautiful one. Now, come on, like to me that's corny. But dressing in matching pajamas on Christmas, I'll have you to know it's not corny. No.
I feel her on what she's saying, and I think that it kind of goes along with what Olivia was saying. Like, I'm gonna get a kick out of that, even though I'm probably not gonna never do it. Okay,
right?
I'm still gonna get a kick out of that, but it's not necessarily a bad thing,
Would you wear matching pajamas on Christmas?
Well, no. I'm not fit to do nothing on Christmas personally.
Okay,
that ain't even on my radar. But I don't know. I match outfits for the right reason. Okay. Yeah.
Well, it's safe to say that again, L'Oreal had to eat her words. Never when she said he was corny did she believe that he'd be on a red carpet and she'd be interviewing him. You know what I mean? And so it's like she's begging for a couple of minutes of his time at that particular moment. And those words, and he remembered it. She had long since forgot that she called him corny. You know what I mean? And he didn't forget. And so he brought it up. And that's just the bottom line is watch what you say, because you never know. Your path may cross with that person again, and they may bubble up on you.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't let it slide. That's for damn sure.
No. And I think that's probably because obviously it hurt his feelings to some point. It didn't stop his drive, but it bothered him, or he wouldn't have remembered it.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a piece of his motivation along the way. or it could have just been the sight of her brought that emotional memory to the fore, and he was like,
Yeah.
hey, what about this?
Exactly what he said. Oh, you mean the one you used to call corny?
Mhm.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, I never. He was like, no, yeah, you did. I heard you.
Okay. So now, because I'm gonna be honest, I seen this information as I'm moving through social media, but I haven't really digged into it. You know what I mean?
They were
Just
saying
at
that
the
long
surface
before
level.
L'Oreal.
What's that?
They've been saying that bullying shit about him long before L'Oreal or Creed 3 or any of that, or Black Panther for that matter.
Well, still, I didn't know about it until just now. Is what I'm getting at.
I'm just saying that's a fact. He was bullied.
Yeah, and like she said, when you're bullied, you never forget. And so I think that's kind of for real. Like what I was saying about it being a part of what motivated him along the way, and that would
wow. I
explain
never knew.
Me
I
either.
never knew. This is something new to me too, and
Yeah.
that makes the story even crazier because I'm like, put a picture of him up now. He's all in shape and buff, and that had to be some kind of motivation in wanting to do things like that to build his body up. Because if you're getting bullied, I'm just imagining that you're backing down. He couldn't have been buff like that getting bullied. You know what I mean? So I mean, the fact that he was bullied in school or bullied along his journey just makes the win that much better.
Well, it wasn't necessarily that people were pushing him down and taking his lunch, bullying, but he talked like a white boy. They used to say he talked like a white boy and all that type of shit. You already know how it goes.
I do.
If you don't sound like you from Georgia some damn where, you talk like a white boy.
Well, not only that, with him being from New Jersey, you wouldn't, I don't know, me personally, hearing him talk, I would have never imagined he was from that region. Them dudes out there got a particular type of accent, and he definitely don't talk like that. So yeah, they might have been hitting him with that "you talk proper" shit.
Well, listen to us though. We know how to talk the maximum amount of shit, but each and every one of us, well, at least for me and Saab, I know for a fact people said that we talk proper our whole life,
right?
And so I know that you guys got to experience that too because we came out of the same household growing up. Mama she didn't like us to use slang, so we talked proper. But when we got into groups of people who use, more Ebonics, we'll just say, for them, they thought that we were proper. They didn't know they could still get their ass beat, but
right, yeah, you about to get a proper ass whooping, and then you understand that how I talk don't mean nothing.
I talk proper, but get down ghetto as fuck.
Huh?
Talk proper, but get down ghetto as a motherfucker.
Right.
I just was laughing how she said that little big head proper theater kid was getting bullied. Yeah, that shit was funny to me. Okay. Let's see. Trying to get an acting like Disney, and they asked him why he would walk around with it. Okay, yeah, because when how they say it, when opportunity meets preparation, he knew he might bump into an opportunity, and so he was prepared. And for somebody to be on that page as a young man, I could see why the people around him didn't understand it, because how many youngsters is that mature? I mean, I think he was 14, 15 when he got casted for The Wire. You understand what I'm saying? So
wow.
For him, this time period when he was a kid, this time period where they're talking about him bringing these headshots to school with him was at a very young age. That's what that means, So you can understand why the people around him didn't have the foresight to even understand what he was doing. But nonetheless, though,
went to some school of the arts or something like that, and this happened like
other actors have done exactly that. Brought their headshots to school and did like that was a page he took out of many other books.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and when Valley said opportunity meets preparation. In the streets, they say if you analogy, it's the same analogy. Be ready, being prepared. How could that be looked at as corny? It shouldn't have been looked at as corny.
Well, I think this comment here kind of sums it up. Haters
Mhm.
gonna hate, you know. And yeah, he was guided. He had a vision, and you know, we didn't really get to see what the vision looked like to him until right now. You know, when I went and seen Creed 3, because like I said, I'd be like, okay, stuff is on my radar, but a lot of times I'd be looking at shit at the surface level because I'm doing what I'm doing. But when the movie was over and I see that, you know, his name in the credits as a director, I was like, oh shit, okay, he's on the real big things because the film was very nicely done. You know what I mean? So I couldn't do nothing but tip my hat to him for the work he did. The shit was lit. Yeah.
Right. Well, and working under people like Felicia Rashad or Sylvester Stallone, you know, that type of person, they've been in the game for a long time. And for them to trust him as a director, you know, that is a big deal. That's a big deal.
Yeah. It says a little something. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Some people got it and just got it. And he's one of those that got it.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I think to the point that Deez was making earlier about other cultures and communities, you know, if we can come to a place where we do better with our youth, you know, at a very young age, instilling certain things in them, as they grow and they encounter people like this, it won't really look odd to them because of the upbringing that they're receiving. You know, how old is your kid when you start teaching them, you know, letters, words, trying to teach them how to read and all that? You know, I know that's small shit, but we can have our kids more mentally and emotionally mature even at a very young age than what they're going to be on a natural if we instill certain things in them. And then it just makes it a whole lot easier for them to embrace these type of differences when they encounter people in regular life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what little kid, you know, it just goes to show, because what little kid doesn't want to be something special, a football player, a firefighter, or a doctor, or what little kid doesn't have these type of dreams?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we knew somebody that played basketball or wanted to be a professional basketball player, and they carried a basketball with them everywhere they went, literally.
Right. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. So it's a couple of them. We're gonna kind of run.
If you want to be an actor and you're carrying headshots, I don't see any difference between wanting to be a football player and you got a football in your hand all the time, or wanting to be a basketball player and you got a basketball player on your hand all the time. Why, if you wanted to be an actor, wouldn't you have headshots in your motherfucking hand?
And that's what I'm saying.
Well,
like people aren't able to look from the proper perspective, you know, because it's really the same thing. Yeah. But, you know, as she was saying, being anything but a cool kid would make you a target. And bullying, roasting was still acceptable back then. You know, and that's the thing, though, as far as like roasting, you know, if that's the sort of bullying we talking about, I can't even jump in line with that. Because that's how we got it. You know, like
exactly.
And what I learned from it is you got to keep your heater cocked and ready to rock so you can bust back. You know,
so I have to jump in on that one. I got to jump in because bullying / roasting cannot be on the same level. Like roasting was definitely okay. I don't know to what extent, like bullying, like you said, kicking somebody down or taking their lunch money or something like that's straight bullying. But getting clown in a roast session, that's growing up. That's
totally different. My boy said he was more, they called him corny for wearing the African getup in his music video, but he said, I'm more elote, the good old elote. No doubt. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Being able to take that shit in stride and spin it back out. You know, it shouldn't be enough to really break us down unless it's associated with some real abuse, you know. But if we just talking about verbal shit, we got to have thicker skin than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't really know his story, so I ain't trying to downplay.
I don't know all of his story, and I, like I said, I was shocked to hear the bullying was part of it. It's sad, but he's definitely having the last laugh now. How old do you all know his actual age? I know he's couldn't be. He's in his 20s, right? Or is he older than that?
He's older than that. I think he's like 36 or something like that.
Yeah.
36. Okay, so getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame at 36, that's still good. People have lived a whole lifetime of acting, been acting for longer than 36 years and still never got nothing like that. So it's a huge accolade, and he's definitely having the last laugh.
Well,
He was born in 1987.
Okay, so he's 1 year older than my oldest. Okay.
Yeah. So then I like how she said it, how it came full circle. And that, you know, to the point where she interviewing him on the red carpet and he got his lick back, you know. And that's
he did.
I said I don't really know his story. I know what's been put out in the internet about it. And it may not be as deep as it's being portrayed. We don't really know, you know what I mean? But he did, you know, he bust back, you know, even if it took him however many umpteen years to do it, you know, he got his shot off. He got busy. So
what it did is it didn't let him bother him. He still moved forward. He said, "The hell with y'all. I'm still doing what I got to do." And that was it.
It's funny because by the time he was 13, he landed a role in Hardball with Keanu Reeves. By the time he was 13, so
yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
he was doing something right.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this right here because we got two different viewpoints of, yeah, look at him. We got two different viewpoints of roasting. So we got Lovejoy here says, see, that's the toxicity within the Black culture. Roasting and closing is definitely bullying. I don't know what closing is. I'm a little out the loop on that. But roasting though, I mean,
She might have been
now, like comedy is a part of Black culture. So that comedic viewpoint, I think, is always going to bleed out into everyday life, everyday culture. Oh, it's clowning. Okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I wasn't able to put the pieces together on. I was like, closing, like, you know, I mean, sometimes I thought it was some new terminology. I didn't.
Right.
But I think you can build character depending on what you go through, you know. And y'all know the reason why they called me Snag. I dealt with a lot, so I learned how to bust back. You know what I mean? It's like I wasn't finna be walking around feeling sorry. You was gonna hate that you got on me. Right. You know, yeah, because I'm gonna light your ass up.
I still don't agree with it because like we're not making any progress, you know, and our youth is being told that you got to be basically a drug dealer, an athlete, a musician, or I mean, it's a very small circle of what's acceptable as to do as a Black person.
Okay, so
Olivia Cowan had a good comment. Roasting is like playing around. You can do that with anyone. It depends on how the person takes it. Bullying comes from evil and it's consistent.
And I agree with that wholeheartedly, you know, but I ain't gonna try to rob nobody else of their opinion though. But I agree with that.
Me neither. I want to add something else to that though. What I was gonna say is that like if you're clowning somebody every single day who comes to school and their shoes is talking, you know, they ain't got no money. And so that could be something that affects someone and stays with them for a long time. So I think roasting can be taken to another level. If you know, it's be like, if you're like, oh, you peanut head nigga, you know, oh, your mom, you know, or your mama jokes back and forth. Okay, that's one thing. But to literally be breaking someone down is another. So let the record reflect, we are not condoning any type of bullying. We are not condoning anything that brings a negative outcome.
Look, real quick.
Hold on, because I want to touch on this again, because I think what you just said aligns perfectly with what she was talking about here. That, you know, roasting is done, it's playing around. Bullying is something that comes from evil and it's consistent. Okay, so the idea of evil, we could play on that, but I understand what she means is that it's coming from a place where it's meant to do harm, is what she's saying.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
coming up under my roof, she already know. Like, everybody gets it, babies and all. That's how I get down. You know, we gonna do some jokes around here.
Oh yeah,
Gotta,
I mean,
I
you
don't gotta
used
wait
to
to watch
tease my
Comedy
son.
Central to get a laugh. We gonna do it right here in our own house. This
What
is
about
how
this? What about this? This nigga crazy. This nigga said closing means shutting your shit down.
Well, and sometimes somebody's roast is so hard that it does shut somebody's shit down. Like, you ain't got to come back from it, you know?
That nigga said like shutting the store down or something.
Okay. Okay. This one here. Like in sexual harassment, it's not about intent, it's about impact. Okay.
Which I think
Let
let me
me
jump in. Let me jump in. Tag me in, team. Okay, so I think we already addressed that no type of harassment is okay. Not any, whether it's sexual, whether you're beating, something that causes somebody's spirit to be broken. It's so yes, it is about impact, the impact that it's having on someone. So, but when you take away the word intent, what is your intention? My intention when I'm clowning somebody during roasting is just to get a laugh. Like you said, it's not an intent was never to have an impact or break somebody down emotionally. That's why I brought up the whole thing about capping on somebody who knows that they shoes is talking. There's a limit to everything. And I think it even falls on students, young, junior high, high school. You do got to be mindful that you could really hurt somebody's feelings.
Here's the thing though. Okay, so he's got a solid point there. If they don't accept the roast and speak out and you continue, then that's bullying. So
thank you.
That's kind of where I was about to go with it. I don't think it's fair to say that any one thing is offensive just because I'm offended by it. And the same goes for anybody else. You know what I mean? Like, if you are offended by something, that's cool. Say that. Say, look, I'm offended by that. I'm not cool with that. Keep me out of all of that. You know what I mean? But to say that it's offensive in general, it goes right back to what I was saying about that's putting people to where they are not able to express their individuality. I got a sick and twisted sense of humor. Like my boy Lawan, he posted something earlier about the movie Smile, and he was saying that it was a couple of places in the movie where, even though it's like supposed to be like a scary demon type flick or whatever, that he was laughing throughout the movie. And I comment on his post. I was laughing my ass off countless times throughout that movie. Somebody else might be like, what the hell is wrong with this one?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But to me, it was funny.
Some of those scenes or things like that, I would be like, yeah, this is some sick shit. So I guess it is, again, some of it is perspective. Where are you at with it? You know what I mean? But in the sense of where the conversation began, it's where the topic began from, about Michael B. Jordan being considered corny for the headshots. I don't think that I just hope as people, as a youth, that we can instill in them that there's nothing corny about having a dream and chasing it, no matter how young you are, staying consistent, no matter where you are. And that, you know, that, like you said, opportunity could come from anywhere. You might be getting on the bus and somebody see you. You never know. So he was just ready. He was just ready and he was prepared.
So I'm gonna put this up here.
The job by the time he was 13. If he wouldn't, let's say he decided not to have the headshots in a dream at that age because it was corny.
Right.
How does he line himself up for that position by the time he's 13 years old if he doesn't do that?
Yeah.
Right. So I put this one up here. Making fun of someone is mean. Making someone the butt of a joke is harassment. It's not funny to them, I guarantee you.
Wow.
It may or may not be funny to them, but that's their opportunity to speak on that. You know what I mean? Hold on. I want to keep that one up there. I'm going somewhere with this. So you all know, in the household we grew up in, it is not okay to make fun of somebody else's misfortune. We heard that from mama all the time. and we still did the shit. You know what I mean? Because her viewpoint of what was funny was different from our viewpoint of what was funny. And that's the only thing I'm saying is that you can't like give a blanket ideology on how humor is supposed to be, how it's supposed to be dealt with on an individual basis. If somebody feels that way, like you, Lovejoy, if you feel that way about clowning or whatever, and you speak on that, then we respect that. You know what I mean? But on the same token, we also wanted our viewpoint to be respected. That like, yeah, I hear you, but the shit funny to me. I keep you out the mix. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right. yeah, you do. Lalo ain't, he ain't taking no shorts.
He be having me
And
dying.
that's the thing, though. You know, some of it's funny. Some of it's funny, but people do get upset when it happens. But I think that you had a good point, Valley, and I'm sorry y'all can't see me right now. You had a good point when you said if that person says, "Hey, what you saying?" You know, even if you have to pull the person aside, man, enough is enough with those jokes. I don't like it. That is bullying if that person keeps going with it.
Mm-hmm. So,
well, just because
right
we had tough skin doesn't mean, just because we had tough skin doesn't mean that what we were doing
don't bother you.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my baby girl back on here again because I know that this is the type of shit that is always talked about, you know, from a father's standpoint. You know, words should not impact them. It doesn't matter what somebody calls you, it matters what you answer to. Because if we are to say that, you know, somebody's bullying us and it's going to impact us, we're giving someone control over us. How we feel is our emotions. They're our feelings. It's our responsibility to manage those feelings, those emotions. That's the way I look at it. So if it ain't no different than how we done all been called nigger, spear chucker, jigaboo, all that. I'm not sitting up pissing, moaning about that shit because, you know, I whooped some little redneck ass along the way. So it's okay. I'm good. Yeah. You know, somebody learned why you don't say that. I spoke to them about why it was offensive to me with my knuckles, you know.
Right. So. Right. But the flip side of that, I guess what we should take into consideration is everybody doesn't have the tough skin that we have, or didn't even have, like, we had a loving mother who encouraged us, who told us no matter what we looked like, that we were strong, we could be anything we want. We got to remember that sometimes people are not going home to those same type of environments. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the ability to grab a hold of yourself and pull from what's within and grow from it. Somebody may not be being nurtured to have that same type of love. And so I think we take it for granted because we had it and there was balance in our life. And so we were, and to top it off, we capped on each other. Some of our serious fights and some of our serious roasting came from each other. We did it to one another. So we had thick skin, you know, but everybody doesn't have that. So I want to be on both sides of it and just be sure, because the object of the podcast is to reinforce growth, to reinforce love, to reinforce knowing who you are and where you're going. So to be encouraging for other people. So I want to point that out too. And not make it such a laughing matter, because it is serious. When you hear people say at a grown age that they still hold on to something that was said to them, that's mean. You know that, and it happens. So the object here is
responsible for holding on to that, them or the person who said it. That's the
no. They got to let it go. At a grown,
that's the only point I was making.
Yeah, if you're grown,
it don't matter if you're 15. They're your emotions. That's your business. Yeah. You know, and it's not to say that what she said, so people can call you slurs, and it's okay. We're not saying it's okay, but it is a part of the human existence. So by knowing that, we have to prepare ourselves and anybody that's coming up underneath us to embrace the realities that go along with the human existence. This shit is going to happen. It's not going away. So are we prepared to deal with it in a way that it doesn't tear us down from the outside in? You see what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
No, I agree with you on that. I just think you have to be it comes with age and maturity and knowing self. And like I said, people reinforcing those type of thoughts in your mind over and over again of who you are. And then you begin to reinforce it too. It's a learned behavior, you know, you have
It
to
is all
keep
right
doing
for
that.
white people to say nigger, isn't it? Because they've been saying it and nothing happens. I mean, am I wrong about that? Or have white people been saying nigger since the inception of this country and basically nothing happens? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and we say it a lot too. So I'm white people should not be allowed to say nigga, but they gonna say it. I mean, we're not gonna talk about what should be allowed because where's the fine line of rules at that point? Now, it's not about what's allowed. People gonna say it. People are gonna say somebody's ugly who might be pretty. People are gonna say. So let's not get into the whole he say she say because yeah, if you're wearing that shit on your sleeve,
and I think that's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we really, when I look at it, we had the luxury of,
check
like
this
I
out.
said,
This is an extension to that, real quick. Let's
Okay.
stick with the point. So when white people say nigger or nigger, it doesn't impact you. Question. You don't get upset. Question.
Sure.
okay,
But I'm not because again, the way I look at it, however I felt when I heard that, that's my business. And so if I respond to that in a way like we used to do when we was young, like I threw it out there, some kids got their ass whooped for saying that when we was young.
right.
But at this point in my life, okay, it would be clown shit for me to get upset to the point that I'm putting hands on somebody, threatening to put hands on somebody, or getting myself in a situation where guns would be coming out. Like, am I that fragile that by this person using a word that ultimately indicates his ignorance, how much of a stupid asshole he is, that I'm going to put my life, my freedom, and my respect for my children and all the people around me on the line because he said nigger or nigger? No, it's not okay. But I'm blocking that like a karate move. It's not going to work neither. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, because somebody called me a nigger, I'll watch. I'm not even gonna lose my cool. I bet you he gonna wish he didn't.
And I think it's funny.
I'm probably gonna fail the test. I've failed the test many times. I don't have that type of temperament.
I failed the test. I failed the test many times too, but it was when I was right.
I'm weak.
I think we
all. I'm gonna fail the test.
Everybody on the panel, because we all grew up in the same place, definitely got called niggas. Definitely, and it was just ignore. Definitely wasn't. We knew who we were, and so each of us have had a fight at one point or another growing up because somebody called us a nigger, not nigga, but nigger, straight out, and still 10 toes down with it in their position with saying it. I had somebody say, "You're a black nigger, go back to Africa," in the classroom.
And he got his ass whooped too, and we got free lunch the whole next year.
He definitely did. It was a whole situation where once I heard that, I was like, blunt. I'm gonna go grab a couple of people to watch this fight because I'm gonna make sure. But today, if you say that to me, I'm not gonna behave the same way. And what's the crazy part is, whether somebody calls me a nigger aloud does not erase the fact that I know what people are thinking in the first place, in the workplace, whether I'm out and about. Somebody may never say it, but that don't mean they didn't think it and they didn't treat me like I was a nigger.
It shouldn't even be surprising to you. Just like I wasn't surprised.
I don't care.
What was her name? Paula Dean, whatever.
Come on, man. She a backwood down south ass motherfucker.
That's my point.
Exactly.
Why is it even surprising to us? Why is it even surprising to us? Like, we gotta be able to like, block it like a karate move. You can't get up in here with none of that. You know
behind the scenes, Paula Dean talking about, those fucking niggas. You already know that's how she talk. That's how they talk in her family barbecue.
Yeah.
Ooh. So big sis, what you got going on today as your current affairs? Are we ready to move on, or are we still
Man,
on this one? Because we
No,
50 minutes in. We better be ready to move on.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, that one went somewhere. That one went somewhere.
Yeah.
So I think this lines right up though, you know, with the bullying conversation. The
Chris
boy
Rock is
Chris
a bitch.
Rock.
Before we started off, Chris Rock is
It's
a
been
bitch.
about a year. Okay, see. So look, it's been about a year since the infamous slap by Will Smith on Chris Rock, you know, and yeah, my boy talking about it still hurt. I don't, you know, I don't know if that's him trying to be funny or whatever, but he's talking about it still hurts. You know what I mean? So yeah, I thought this was interesting that it circled back into the media. I guess he had a little stand-up comedy program where he spoke about it at length, or at least to a reasonable degree, on his stand-up show.
Said that
And
he
so-
watched that slave movie with Will Smith just to see Will Smith get whooped.
Exactly.
And so I didn't see the stand up, but I did see a clip from it. I woke up to the clip from it this morning on social media, and I thought that he was joking when he said it still hurts. It still hurts, probably in the fashion that everybody who deals with him is still bringing it up, in the fact like, oh, I don't see how, because you know it's gonna be 10,000 people or 10 million people. I don't see how he let that happen. Well, I thought he composed himself real well to continue on with the show, but yeah, he had to bring that back. He had to run that one time and say what he said to get that off his chest. Maybe that was his way of kind of cleansing the universe, or trying to get it out, because he has some stuff he needed to get off of his chest, clearly. But he didn't make the comedy segment about it. He just closed the show with it. He closed out.
Hey, look. Hold on. We gotta look at how you got that Will.
Hold on. Before we go into that, I want to say this. The point of the matter is, Will Smith went directly to that man, to his fucking face, chest to chest, and he apologized after the situation happened. I'm just gonna say that. Now we can go on with all the other bullshit.
He did apologize.
He did. Yeah, he did. There's no doubt about that. You know.
Jada's bitch ass didn't know.
All right, now we can go on with the other shit.
So again, he got at Will kind of rough on here. You know what I mean? And talked about, and this is what I initially said when I seen it. I felt like Will had some built up emotions in him that really ain't had nothing to do with what Chris Rock said, and he just let that out on him. You know what I mean? So again, he talking about the shit that went down with Jada and August Alsina or whatever, their little entanglement. And and the thing that he was tripping off of, he said everybody called that man a bitch, and who's he hit? Me. You know, and that's the thing that I kind of tripped off of when it went down, you know. But nonetheless, though, I think the way Chris Rock is approaching all this now, he kind of took it on the chin, and he's finding his way to laugh about the shit, you know.
I think so. And
Yeah.
because and I thought about this too. I was saying, well, because publicly it was never announced that there was any settlement or any lawsuit or any criminal charges brought up because of it. Maybe there was just an agreement. Yeah, at the end of the day, when this is all said and done, let me use this as part of my comedy, since everybody's going to talk about it anyway. Everybody who sees Chris Rock now continues to bring that up. So how was he going to have a stand up and just skip over it? He skipped over it the night it happened.
I don't think about that when I see Chris Rock.
Me either. Yeah, it's not really a big deal.
I love Will Smith and I love Chris Rock. I didn't always love Will Smith. There were some points when I was like, yeah, stop. But
He was corny.
I mean,
He was corny.
well, that's a prime example of corny, because a lot of people, and I love rap music, I come from that generation.
his rap wasn't hitting on what the rap I was listening to. Let's just say
But you
that.
can still
okay?
listen to that shit right now, though. Parents just don't
I'll listen to
understand
summertime.
That
That's
nigga was
about
saying some
it. You
real
know what I
shit.
mean?
It might have been some nursery rhyme type shit, but nevertheless, that shit was real. What he was talking about.
Right.
The chat is lit right now. I just want to go ahead and say that, and I'm
definitely
I'm
lit.
having proud father moments right now as I'm reading some of the comments.
That's all you can
That is
do.
lit.
That's all
Okay.
you can do.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why they, I feel some kind of way because I know that me as an individual, I'm just a little bit more seriously cut, and that's why I've been to prison so many times in my life. I don't make good judgment calls when people fuck with me, so I don't know. I can't really have I can't have that outlook on it because I know how I am. When somebody fucks with me, I take that shit personally.
Yeah. I'm a little bit more on the thick skin side. You gotta make me feel like I'm really being attacked, not just on some verbal shit, but like you really trying to come for me. Outside of that, I don't really give a damn because I probably, if I really wanted to, got something to say that's gonna leave you where you thought you was gonna take me.
Well, that's why
I win the word game more times than not. So that's why that shit rolls off my back.
Well, to talk about something else, what y'all think about the reparations that the Californians they're trying to see if the reparations we're gonna get some reparations in California.
Shit.
Line me up. Reparations. Look what they did with their EDD money.
Line me up. I don't give a damn because it's a million stupid ass niggas out there that blow money. That don't mean I ain't got mine coming. Line me up. Let them dumb ass niggas do what they do. I still need to get mine.
Fuck these
Well, I thought that they had made a decision for people who lived in San Francisco that they were going to pay some, make a payment towards the reparations. I did hear something about it, but what are you saying? What do we think about it? Of course, we think we should get our reparations, but what is your point?
I don't think they're gonna decide to give us any.
These baboons and raccoons are gonna waste the money anyway.
And that means what for the people that are going to do something good with it?
Right.
Well, the people that are doing something good with it saying it's not enough. So
baboons and raccoons, they waste the money they make at a job every day. So they shouldn't be able to work neither.
No,
it's the same principle, shit.
I'm with her. Just give me some goddamn money.
Hey, Riley Soleil said, they better break bread. I need my cho. And I have to agree with her. Like, break bread. I think that they should.
What are these reparations for?
Huh?
What are the reparations for?
For slavery.
Thank you. For generations way back when that have died and blood's been shed. They were enslaved. They were made to work for nothing. Those people are dead, but we are a product of them. So they need to pay.
People try to say
though, it's not just about the slavery, and the hardship that went down. And this is why I say I feel like there's a lot of people, the black folks, be like, we don't need them reparations. Hey, look, man, motherfucking Capital One gonna come get what you owe them. Why the fuck we gotta say we can't collect what we owe? It's not about the slavery. It's about that multi-billion-dollar industries were built on free labor by black people. There are folks that are still reaping the benefits of that free labor. Break off the motherfucking coin. Yeah, I ain't gonna never be too woke to get mine.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And there's two good comments. One, Olivia Cowan, she said, okay, but why does California get it? Shouldn't South receive it as well? I mean, that was the main area, and definitely was the main area where all of it went down. So that's a very good comment. I think that it should be for everyone. But again, we have to remember that some of the states where it actually took place are still full of rednecks.
I was about to say, them niggas out there, and get mad, scratch your ass, get glad. They ain't as charged up as they should be. you know, and I'm speaking from, you know, I done lived out in that region for 5 years straight. And one of the first things I noticed that in general, niggas, they might be who they are out in the streets, but they still have a deep rooted sense of get in line mentality. So they ain't never gonna get it out there because they too busy standing in line.
Well, don't say they ain't gonna never get it out here, because I needs mine. And just like in Georgia, for the first time, Georgia went blue when they voted out what's that goofy clown ass man, Trump. So because Georgia is now a place, you know, Atlanta's such a big place where blacks are coming from everywhere, everybody wants to move there. Now all of a sudden it's changing the dynamics when it comes to the voting process, because people are coming from different walks of life and they're able to vote and still, like those ones, they have that walk in line mentality. But there's people who come from other states and it's helping them to change that way of thinking. It's like, no, we can walk outside of there, we can drink out of their drinking fountain. Like come on now. So I think everybody should get it.
Mm-hmm.
Another one I wanted to ask you guys about was in Massachusetts, they're thinking about letting people of color donate some of their organs to get off of their sentence.
Hey.
It's a trick. It's a trick. Okay, but I don't know why we're hopping topics, but we can do it. But that's a trick. Anybody who believes that donating your organs and then you get out of jail, you're actually going to make it. You're actually going to make it? No, buddy. They're coming for you. They're coming to get them organs.
I don't know. Because the way I heard it, it wasn't even that they was necessarily letting motherfuckers out of jail. They just get a year off of their sentence.
Right.
So,
right.
I mean, is a year that important to you? You know, and that's going to be based on how much time somebody got, how long they've been in there, what their health is. You know, there's a lot of factors that go into whether or not a year means that much to you. You know, for somebody doing 3-4 years, that's probably a real easy pill to swallow. Somebody been sitting in there for 31 years and they supposed to get out in 32. That year might be real motherfucking enticing to them.
Yeah, because they might be dead.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably very enticing. It would be very enticing. But I just say, once you get out, man, you better be real careful. Tread lightly. Tread lightly, because they might.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, they might get you when you go to get your ID at DMV. They'll shoot you when you come out the door. I mean, they want that organ. They want that organ. So, I mean, but they've been saying that not just for people who are in jail, but it has been I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory, but they have been saying for a long time that people are coming up missing just for having that pink dot on your driver's license. So
I need to get that shit off of mine.
We're important because we have melanated skin, and when the global warming and whatever the fuck, blah, blah, takes place, and the planet heats up, we're going to be some of the last motherfuckers walking around here. They know that. They know that.
Right.
We're going to be some of the last motherfuckers, because people that don't got it, they're going to get skin cancer and die, and it's not going to be good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's why they want to try to incorporate our organs and different shit like that, because they're trying to strip some of the essences that we have in order to make themselves stronger for the fallout.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a accurate assessment, you know, based on a lot of different factors. I think that's a true statement right there. I'd have to agree with that.
Did you guys see that movie where they was taking the black people and taking them and putting them in these white people's body that was old, and then next thing you know, they's all energetic, and
She talking about Get Out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we seen that.
Woo! He whipped that white bitch's ass in the driveway.
Oh God. Woo! Banned on YouTube.
Melanin is worth more than gold. That's why when black folks come up missing, they're never to be found again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, and I think that that's an important topic that we have yet to tackle, but at some point or another, we do need to discuss all the missing Black women that have come up missing, and that nobody's discussing, nobody's looking for. Yes, there are Black men too that come up missing as well. So we'll just say in general, all the Blacks that do come up missing, and nobody's looking for them, they just end up. It's crazy because even at my job, we get things that come through the fax machine that are missing people that they put out. I don't know why it comes to the fax machine at the job, but it happens all the time. And it's a lot of Black people that come up missing. I don't know why nobody's looking for them. I don't know why nobody's talking about it. So it is a big deal. It's definitely happening.
Yeah. And I don't know. I could be wrong about this, but the way I see it, white folks been coming up missing my whole motherfucking life. And I think some of the things that we make a big deal about is only because it's relative to us. You know, I go get me a Camaro and suddenly I see all these Camaros on the street. You know what I'm saying? Those Camaros were there before. It's just
right, but the numbers don't match up the same in that situation.
It may not match up, but what I'm saying is people have been coming up missing forever.
Yeah.
It's just closer to our hearts because of skin tone. That's what I'm getting at. That shit ain't nothing new.
I agree with that. I think that Black people focus, like, I feel like we wanted to not sit in the back, like Rosa Parks wasn't allowed to sit in the back of the bus or whatever, or didn't want to sit in the back of the bus. And so now you can't pay a nigga to go to that front of that bus. You can't pay a nigga to go to the front of that motherfucker.
Right.
So I don't know what it is with us as people. We do some of the weirdest, strangest shit. Like, we wanted to drink out of the same drinking fountains and eat at the same restaurants as white people, but on the same token, we want to be segregated.
Yeah, you know, and I think I see the same thing about that. Is I think we kind of have at one point in time there was a more deep-rooted cause behind some of the lines we pushed. But over time, I think we've kind of gotten to the point where we just on some rebel without a cause. What? Black people? Oh shit! Let's rally in. It's a big. They doing this to Black folks. This ain't nothing new that's going on. You know what I mean? Is it wrong? I mean, is it alarming? Sure, but Black folks ain't the only motherfuckers that's coming up missing. You know, that's just what's on our radar. That's all I was getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the aliens. I'm just kidding.
Texas bill, is that the one where they talking about hanging people again?
I don't know. I tried to get in her message because I was hoping she was gonna speak on that a little bit, because that's completely, I don't know about it. Yeah.
Well, there was I don't know if he was a senator or what he was, but he filed the motion in front of Congress. I'm not quite sure the setting because I zoomed past stuff like that. But what it was is he filed a motion when he was being heard to say he wanted to bring back hanging again. It's on record.
Hanging from trees specifically.
Yes, he did say that. Yes.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
I mean, it's good. Bring the law back and we'll hang his ass from a fucking tree.
I was about to say, I mean, you got to bring ass to get ass. So I hope he understands that the hanging applies to him too.
You know? Definitely applies. It goes both ways.
So they haven't stopped hanging niggas anyway. So, you know, shit.
George Zimmerman. Come on, man. The list goes on and on. I'm not one of these regular Black motherfuckers. I got a list.
Yeah. You know.
You got a bucket list, bro?
No, a murder list.
So I talk about this in basically any circle of conversation I sit in. Y'all know how I feel about the importance of keeping and bearing arms. Okay. So I think one of the things that needs to be adjusted within some of the more rooted areas in our communities can we stop being fucking felons so that we can legally possess firearms? Because a lot of the shit that we say that we want to change, check this out, man. People, just like how you talked about Michael B. Jordan being swole, so ain't nobody fucking with him now. It's the same principle when we talking about keeping and bearing arms. Folks ain't running up on people, okay, to do whatever sort of harm to them when they know for damn sure that there's a really good chance that harm could be done to them in the process. But I mean, I don't know. I just think that's something that's important. We losing our gun rights. Talk about standing up, and like the average black person can't even go into a goddamn store and legally purchase a firearm and take it to the shooting range and get their practice in. They got to be on some, behind the curtain ass shit because we done made mistakes in the earlier part. I think that's something that needs to be drilled into young people. Keep your motherfucking nose clean and stay out them streets, because if all this stuff we talking about is true, then you might need to be able to go gear up without limitation.
What you mean you gotta go behind the curtain when you go to the shooting range?
Meaning, if you're a felon, you can't really go do shit like that. If you
right,
you're not allowed to go do shit like that.
Because depending on where you at, they're gonna want to see your license and all this whole other shit. You know what I mean? And you got the authorities may come and review the list of people that, if they really wanted to, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, he ain't never supposed to own and possess a firearm at all. So now that we see his name was on here and he'd been shooting 3 days a week for the past 9 months, let's go holler him. Cops want to talk.
Right. Well, I agree with you on
the fact. I agree. They should be able. People should be mindful of that as well. At a young age,
it's fucked up because we're losing our gun rights so early. We're losing it in our teens. Basically, you're doing shit in your teens, and so by the time, and that's why NFL players, they have died because of it. They weren't able to protect their family because they lost their gun rights, and then somebody comes and kicks in their door and shoots them, and they fucking die because they couldn't protect their family.
It's a catch-22 because it's bad, because if they, they're trying to do this ban on the assault rifles and all this other kind of stuff because of the school shootings, but them people were never reviewed because they weren't of a certain color and were able to get the guns at easy and very accessible. But
they review them, but I mean, it's, if you don't got nothing on your record, you don't got nothing on your record. I mean, because technically, it's not a psychological review.
That's what they need to have, though.
But I mean,
I'm not saying that
guns, because our society
have to have a psychological review either.
So everybody's got some kind of twisted mind in our society nowadays. We watch movies where people kill each other. And that's
people do. You don't even have to watch movies. We can turn on First 48 or any of those other shows. People are killing people. I do think that people should have the right to bear arms. That's me. I know that everybody wasn't brought up like that, and to each his own. But if some shit kick off, I feel like it's better to be caught with than without. And yes, you should have it legally, so if it goes down. And yes, you should go to the range and practice, because practice makes perfect. What good is if you only got 9 in the chamber? If you only got 9, make sure you can shoot somebody. Make sure you're gonna lay somebody down.
When you got 9, it better be 9 dead motherfuckers after you.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's really what the logic was behind them making that law here in California, to where you can only have a 10-round magazine. That percentage-wise, the self-defense shootings only consisted of 5 to 7 shots when somebody had to lay somebody down in an act of self-defense. You know what I mean? But we're talking about people that are legal gun owners, because all that, like, we know in the streets, cats is out here, oh, we let off 50 rounds. And 1 person died, okay? And you tore up a whole lot of property, but you let off. So you out here making noise.
You don't know how to shoot.
That's all you doing.
Yeah, you out here making noise. You got a handheld.
One thing I'll say is, out here in the South, in the South, they going out there in the dirt. They going out there in the backwoods and they are practicing. They are having target practice. Yeah, and
I'm not
also
impressed,
they
man.
they have the right to carry. You know what I mean? So the laws are different out here too.
Mhm,
So you'll
mhm.
see a lot of people with guns on their hips.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of feels strange at first, like you walk into the store and a brother got a gun on his hip. You're like, wait a minute, but you can do that out here. You can
Mhm,
do that.
It used to be like that in California until the Black Panthers marched up to the building, and that's why it's not like that in California. No more.
That's the exact reason why. Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
and so I was going to say that too.
But it's okay for
They want to make it so it's hard for us to get weapons. They don't want us to get weapons. It was okay. Assault rifles were made, assault rifles were bought, and it was all fine and dandy until they confiscated a whole boatload from T.I. and the rest of the thug niggas out there. Then it was like, oh, wait a second, we need to ban assault rifles. Yeah, because
in those
why?
cases
Because
they do
too.
though. In those cases they do, because they're not going to shoot nobody but a black skinned motherfucker with them guns.
But here's the reason why I disagree with that. You banning it, it just makes it illegal. So for people who are willing to do illegal shit, you have just put them in a position to be more armed than me.
Right.
You ain't
Of
helped
course.
nothing.
Of
You
course.
ain't helped nothing.
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's all niggas is doing with it. Really, it doesn't matter for black folks. The way we are right now in society, the gun laws don't matter in our community because we ain't following the rules anyway. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it don't really matter.
Well, and I think that's what Benet was saying. She was saying, "Are we going to address us shooting each other?" Question mark. The media uses that as an excuse to limit gun laws, but whites kill more. It's just not televised in that light, and I think that we have to pay attention to that as well. Well, that's definitely true. You know, we got to be able to see through some of the shenanigans that are out there, which is even more reason for you to stay on the right track, to be able to go legally get it.
I don't understand why we're trying to compare us to them, because
We're not.
I've been to prison, like I said, and it looks like Africa in that motherfucker. So I don't give a fuck.
But that's not
what
because
nobody's saying.
That's not
it looks
because
like Africa in that motherfucker.
I know, but that's not because black folks is committing more crime.
No, that's not. I didn't say that. That was not even remotely what I was trying to say.
Well, okay, because you were saying what you were saying in response to this comment. So you said you didn't see why we were comparing.
It says they put it. They put it. The media uses it as an excuse to limit gun laws, but whites kill more. It's not necessarily true. We're 13% of the population. There are a lot more of them than there is us. So of course those numbers are going to be bigger for them because they are the majority of motherfuckers in this society.
Then why are you saying that the prisons are filled with us then? It's all, listen, it's a flip side of that then, because
it's
the
not
prisons
a
are filled with us because we're the ones.
It's not a flip side of that. 200 rappers died in 2021.
Okay, 200, is that an exaggeration or is that a literal
number? That's not
number?
an exaggeration. That's keeping it one motherfucking 100.
Well, that brings it back to our other topic that we got going on: the people that you associate yourself with, how your friends. Who do you call yourself friends?
Niggas, look, if it's 5 of us, right? We grew up together. We start selling dope and gangbang or whatever we do.
And it's gonna be one hater amongst them.
One of the 5 is gonna be responsible for the death of 3 of them 5 niggas.
Maybe not 3, but maybe 1.
That's
the problem. I can't align with that shit.
I'm not aligning with black on black crime. We know that it exists. I just disagree with the fact that why do we always have to jump the track and talk about that if we're going to talk about this? We're here to enlighten people. We need to stop killing each other. We need to stop killing one another.
White folks until we stop killing each other and get past 13% of the goddamn population, we're not gonna do shit.
Okay, I agree with you on that, but our problem, like black folks killing each other, is a symptom of the underlying problem. It is not the problem. It's just a symptom of it. It's not the sickness itself. No,
it's an effect.
You can't overlook the fact that the elements that exist in the street is something that it's a result of shit that was put into place. COINTELPRO, the shit with the Contras and all that, that's not a facade. That shit really took place, and it was really targeted at Black communities. And we really seen the results of it after it was really put into play. We can't just act like that's fallacy. So,
Okay,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but that is a symptom of the underlying problem. It's not the problem itself.
I don't know. I don't know. I tap out on that. We ain't gonna change. I gave up on us as far as that goes. I don't see no change for our people.
But if we give up on us, how will the change ever take place?
Hey, if it's okay for niggas to kill, it's okay for me to give up.
He said that's why reparations won't be enough. It ain't about it being enough, nigga. Hey, what I owe Capital One ain't gonna be enough neither, but they still coming to get it. I don't give a fuck if it's enough. Break minds off.
Yeah, break minds off too. Break minds off too.
Oh yeah, but did you get that?
Let me say something to this comment. So when white people go to jail and Asians and Hindus and people of other races go to jail, their families be like real against that shit. They be like, really, we cutting your ass off for this shit. You know, Black folks ain't necessarily like that, man. We don't really cut our people off even when they be dead wrong. You see everybody still wearing free this nigga t-shirt, and this nigga walked in the store and shot a motherfucker while he was in a barber chair, and they talking about free this nigga.
I feel you on that. But again, I have to counter that. I mean, I don't know a whole bunch of Indian and Asian motherfuckers to the point where I can say what they found.
I do though. I've seen them in there, and they don't have people. It ain't the same for them. Okay. They really up shit creek.
Yeah, I mean, if we did that to Black folks, then we might as well all just climb a mountain and jump off that motherfucker, because that's how high the numbers is. We might as well just mix up the Kool-Aid like Jim Jones and drink it.
Though that's why the killing each other is the beginning of it all. If we try to go around that shit, we're never gonna get nowhere.
Okay,
exactly. So you just said the key thing though. You said we can't go around it. So there's no need for one out of us four on here to say I give up trying. We must continue to try to push the narrative to stop, to break the cycle, to break that learned behavior. We got to be the change that we want to see.
It just starts in the house. It's that simple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if everybody is doing the same shit under their roof,
we are a special people, Black folks.
We are special.
Hey, that's why we're in the shit we're in, because we think, if I go be a lawyer, that's gonna stop the process. If I make him become a lawyer and my family makes it out, that's gonna add to the benefit of our people overall. The numbers have to be just as dramatic.
You don't see that.
The numbers have to be just as dramatic as the murders.
Oh, the cycle is psychological. Yeah, I think it's a mental game that has been played, and I don't think by me recognizing that there is a mental warfare that has taken place and that some of the effects of that war still linger on. I don't think that's an unrealistic viewpoint. It's not to say that we have to live in it, but like if we look at it like, damn, okay, I got to go out here and fix this in order for me to build my house back up. Or do we walk outside and be like, man, I don't see that shit. You know what I mean? It has to be given attention if we want to rebuild. That's all I'm getting at. You know
I agree that it has to be given attention.
I've been thinking about this one all week. So if I'm Black and I decide and I'm rich and I'm an entertainer, a rapper, football player, whatever, I got to check in when I go to LA. I got to call the streets and tell the streets, look, man, I'm going to be out here. Don't kill me and rob me. Don't take all my shit when I'm at the Waffle House. All right? But if I'm Tom Cruise, Leonardo DiCaprio, any other white motherfucking rich motherfucker, I get to go to LAX and I don't got to call nobody and check in about shit.
Okay, well, let's just break that down, though. Okay, so and the basketball players and the rappers and all that, they don't got to check in either. That whole check-in thing is that's the bullshit. Because so look at the dude from the Migos.
Look at him. He checked in. He checked in with the wrong fucking crew. That's what happened. So the very crew that he checked in with that was supposed to have all these mob ties is the very people who laid him down. So
here it's this simple to me. And this is what I mean. Like, if we can take the approach that, I don't like what this nigga said on the internet, cancel him. Cancel LA and stop going to that motherfucker.
That's what they're basically
Problem solved. You
I
want to
see
cancel
all this
everybody
shit.
else that do some shit you don't like. Cancel LA and stay the
It's
fuck
not
away from
just
there.
LA. It's Memphis. It's Atlanta. It's not just. I mean, I don't know. I don't give a fuck. Niggas, until niggas stop killing niggas, ain't shit about to change for niggas. And that's where I stand.
But you have to look at. There's too many things in place to just say stop killing. It's not like they're doing it for sport, like they're out hunting rabbits or something.
Away because it's a double effect.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
100,000 niggas in the grave and 100,000 niggas in prison.
I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying
so
is they're not out hunting rabbits. They're not doing it just for shits and giggles. There's actual things. Come on, D's. Yeah. We can't. No. They're not doing it for shits and giggles.
Not all of them are doing it for shits and giggles. I agree.
There's real shit taking place, and the real shit is, like I said, symptoms of the underlying problem. But
absolutely.
To bring it all full circle, though, what I think we need to do, because the show had a topic that we ain't even discussed yet. So I don't want to irritate nobody, but at some point we got to move to the goddamn topic that hasn't even been addressed. And we have
information to
listen to that. Okay. So I mean, look, can we get into this? Because I don't know how you couldn't see it when you seen Deeze's earlier, but I thought I had mine up there.
Okay. And now you have it up there. Don't I slap people. Anyways.
Come on with it.
Okay, so it says the family of we're moving on to the next topic, everybody, because we can agree that there's a lot of changes in the community that need to happen. And one of the things that needs to happen goes into this topic. So I think by talking about how the family of Shaquilla Robinson calls for diplomatic intervention months after woman's death in Mexico. If you're not familiar, Shaquilla Robinson went on a trip with her friends to Mexico. And once she got there, her friends, whom had plotted the whole time, began to attack and fight her and beat her up, leading to her having a broken neck and a severed spine, resulting in her death. The picture that you guys see on the screen is the people who she went with on this trip. And so what happened was her family has questions because Mexican authorities are now saying, hey, we pushed the paperwork, we investigated, we got the autopsy results. Everything has been proven that it wasn't, because her friends claimed that she died from alcohol poisoning. And so her family wants justice. Her family is saying that Mexico authorities have said, hey, we did what we needed to do. It's up to the U.S. to get the ball rolling and start going and picking up these people.
Right. I think that's the crazy part, that ain't nothing been done about it yet, but that kind of goes to what we was talking about. If it ain't important to us, how's it going to be important to other people? Because I mean, when I looked at the story, these are just regular people that live in a certain area. These aren't cartel members. They're not drug kingpins. What could be going on that serious that you need to beat somebody to death? What could be going on that's that serious?
They hated on the girl.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. There's a video. And it's not funny. There's a video that happened.
I'm just saying, though, it's the same thing. We just was talking about it. What does this even matter? It's part of the byproduct of what the bigger picture is. So why do we care that they killed her?
Anyways, I cared that they killed her.
I don't know where that came from, but yeah.
I don't either, because this is my thing. She went with a group of people, and it wasn't new people. It was people that she knew. The guy in the upper corner
was her friend for 4 years. He had went on family trips with her. He had spent vacation time with her family. Her parents knew him. She considered this to be a friend of hers. Some of the people were friends of friends, but everyone knew each other. Now, I don't care what corny shit could have been said, done, or anything. These people who were believed to be that she believed to be her friends, she went along on a trip, and within 24 hours after arriving to Mexico, she was dead. Her friends came back and sat to her family and said, yeah, we're so sad. Here's her suitcase. And the story never added up. And so I don't know if anybody else has taken time to do any research regarding the story or just followed it on the Shade Room, TMZ. Everybody has covered it at once. Even Nancy Grace has covered the story. It's a very public story. And I just feel like the important part is she thought these people were her friends. They were not her friends. And they murdered her.
So what's the root cause of that? It is the way I'm looking at it. You thought these people were your friends. This is what I meant when I said, as parents, we have to instill certain levels of understanding in our children. Number one, in my household, and my daughters will attest to that nigga in the corner ain't your friend. He might be friendly, but that nigga wants to play. He wants to do something else with you. Let's just be totally honest about it. It's very rare from a man's perspective that you have a genuine 100% platonic viewpoint to an attractive woman. That nigga was never just her friend. It doesn't matter if she saw him like that, but by her allowing herself to believe that, that's already putting herself at a disadvantage because she refuses to accept certain things about him that might give him ill intentions toward her. But she ain't giving me no ass anyway.
One of the girls is the one.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, how are you looking at your friends? And the only way you can measure your friendships is by already measuring yourself internally. And I think that's part of the problem that we see. And this is the result of that. Like, how do you not know these people is against you?
One of the girls killed her.
Well, several people.
He
was there and he was recording the whole time because, again, there's video. So one of the things that I wanted to jump out and try to blend this into the original basis of what our main topic was outside of current affairs, which was friend.
Mm-hmm.
In my household, I think, as well as in yours, I think we have trained our kids to be mindful of not to use the word friend so loosely.
Mm-hmm.
Friend and acquaintance are two different things. I think we were raised to know that. But just for the record, according to the dictionary, says a friend is, quote unquote, a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection, typically exclusive of sexual or family relations. That's what a friend is. So, of course, by definition, that's what a friend is supposed to be. But I think that we do have to look at the crowd that we hang out with, look at the people who we consider to be friends. Is it uplifting? Is it positive? Is it encouraging? Is it empowering? Those are the type of people you need to consider your friend. If you are around someone and you have a takeaway and you got that feeling, because we've all had that feeling like, they don't really like me. Something about them ain't right. I say to trust your gut, because I think that there had to be, and you're right, I'm sure there was some underlying. However, she's not available for comment right now.
Right.
She's dead.
I get that, and that's the importance of what I'm saying, friends, because typically people get killed by somebody they know. That's the typical outcome. When somebody's murdered, it's very rare that it was a stranger that did it. It was somebody that knew that person. So what that tells me is friends are just as deadly as rapists. You better be watching your goddamn friends. Like,
you should be.
It's not about, oh, we have fun together and this, that, and the other. Before you even get to that point, you should be in tune enough with yourself to where you can observe somebody and be able to recognize if they fit into your life as someone who you could call a friend, their morals, their standards, their character, the things they have convictions about. Does that energy align? And if it doesn't, that's an acquaintance, and you see them in passing, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? But that's not a close,
Right.
that's not a friend.
But people typically, predators or people with predatory behavior, they tend to pounce when they have an opportunity. So they'll be your best friend all the way up until the time that opportunity presents itself.
I get that. I get what you're saying. And that's what I mean when I say we have to be more observant, because you said they can be your best friend, but that's only if we have a lackadaisical viewpoint of what a friend actually is. You know what I mean? Are we analyzing our friendships to the point where it's like, okay, if I don't hit my folks up, will I hear from them? Or when we hang out, is it only when I'm willing to do the shit that they want to do and they don't really show up for? There's ways to analyze a friendship. So
right.
Or
Or like
Facebook,
Facebook,
a lot of things to get to the point that this girl got to is what I'm getting at.
And the sad part about it is we don't know the backstory, because clearly there may have been signs. There
definitely was.
We come from a very suspicious background. Us four, but my child asked me. No, my child asked me, when was the last time you felt safe? And I was like, what are you talking about? You know, because you think about fear around every corner. You always think. I'm very suspicious natured, and I try not to spill that over into the kids, but I do want them to be cautious of even friends, of scenarios, of being out places. I'm always like, be aware of your surroundings and things like that. So I think we come from that suspicious nature, but I think that a lot of people need to take a closer look at what the definition of friend is, what the definition of an acquaintance is. And again, the energy that you get when you are surrounding yourself with these people. Are they bringing you gossip about somebody else? Are they coming around to use you for money? Are they coming around because you have friends? What are their motives? You got to check people out. You really got to check people out. You can't use that word friend. And again, part of my problem in my house, I said, you ain't got no damn friends. You got cousins. You don't need no damn friends. You know, and so I'm crazy like that. But it's because
that's why we have no friends.
Right. But I just felt like it's a protection, a form of protection by being around your family versus being around someone who you really don't know. Because one thing we got to remember is that people are good at being fake. So somewhere along the line, those people must have pretended with that girl, like people are good at being fake. And maybe she didn't use her discernment good. Maybe she didn't even know what discernment
more than likely
was.
Didn't, because the average person doesn't.
Right.
Oh, I like her. I like him. And that's it. How deep do we really dig on a regular? I mean, let's just be honest. This is something that we're lacking in, you know, and I get it. It's important for people to have friends. But I've had this conversation with all my children. Look, that shit don't mean what you think it do. You better get that out your head and worry about who you are as an individual, you know. Fuck your stupid ass friends, you know, and
right.
I hate to get at them like that, but over time they be like, man, you always said you was right, you know. So like, if over time they can go back to the things that I said, like, don't put so much weight on that, because just because somebody's cool with you don't mean they're your friend. Look at this, analyze that, see what happens if this. Find out if they're your friend before you actually give them that title, you know.
See, I've been blessed because I was just by getting locked up, you immediately find out who all your friends are. Immediately. So I've always been in a situation where it was easy for me to find out who my friends were, because if you're in a bad situation, only the motherfuckers who care about you are going to show up in those situations.
That's real. Yeah.
That is definitely where.
I think that one of the comments, and I'm gonna blend two of them because it came from the same person, but tension, intention, and attention. That was one of the comments. I thought that is something that we should pay close attention to when you're around someone. Is there a little bit of underlying tension that goes on when you're around someone? What are their intentions? You know, are they out trying to hustle the next motherfucker? What are their intentions? And attention. Do they require a lot of attention and they're not getting it because you're stealing the show? Those are things that can cause people to hate you. Those are things that, and then the other comment was wanting to be accepted. I think that people are looking for acceptance so much. They want to be accepted. Oh, I want to fit in. Oh, I want them away. Stop wanting people to be your friend. Stop wanting people to pay attention to you because it could end up deadly.
Well, that's why I said what I said. It goes right back to you not having the proper viewpoint of yourself. You're wanting to be accepted. Motherfucker, I'm the one putting out the applications to see if I'm going to accept your ass because my shit rocking. I wish I was worried about accepting whether you going to accept me. You might want to be trying to figure out if I'm going to accept your ass.
You need to.
And this is the viewpoint that needs to be instilled in the younger people in our community, because what it does is it holds everyone accountable. If you can come out and know who you are and know that, and people know because they got the same program going on, that the only way we'll ever build friendships is if it's based on genuine respect. You understand what I'm saying? That we genuinely honor and respect each other and we consider each other versus, hey, we hang out, we knock down beers and we do this, that, and the other with a couple of chicks, or we hang out and we drink mimosas and we go to the beach. And no, that don't make somebody your friend. That's just your buddy you hang out with.
That's your party buddy.
Yeah.
Right.
Where's the real connective tissue between you and them? You know, what do you know about them as an individual?
For me as friends, and that's why I don't really got. I mean, I guess I could say I don't have a lot of friends, but I do have a lot of acquaintances and people that actually do check in with me from time to time and shit like that. But like I said, you know, that's not enough for me. Just going out and drinking and doing shit, because I can go do that with strangers and I probably wouldn't have to buy a drink all night.
So I liked this one right here because, okay, so I'll just read it. One's friends are that part of the human race with which one can be human. You know what I mean? I got to hide the fact that, I'm feeling nervous about this big thing I got going on in front of you. Then you ain't my friend. Or I got to hide the fact that I'm dealing with heartache because, I got divorced or had a breakup and I can't shed no tears in front of you. You understand what I'm saying? Can I really be who the fuck I am in front of you? And you still respect me the same way you did prior. If that ain't there, we ain't friends.
Right. Okay, yeah, and that's how it should be. I watched this show called Harlem, and it's about these 4 girls, and they're all different, from their jobs to everything, and they know this and that about each other, and know how why she says this, and she doesn't say this, and all that because they've been friends and they're in tune with each other. And when one of them is off, then they know what's wrong with old girl. She tripping or something's not right. They don't hold grudges and they talk to each other. They meet with each other and they talk. You can't just be friends with someone you just meet because they don't know you. And that's just it. That's all. Mm-hmm. I had friends in high school that we seen every goddamn day. I don't see them bitches no more hardly. If you're tuning in, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you a bitch, but
well, if the shoe fits, if the shoe fits.
Oh, yeah.
No shoe fits, wear that motherfucker and wear it good. But yeah, I don't see them motherfuckers. So, it was my friends every day, ride or die.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. And so some of the people who you may be friends with in high school, people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So everybody's not going to make it to the lifetime part. Somebody might be your friend for a specific reason. You guys had a mutual agreement. We out here hustling together, but it's not really a friendship. It's more like a business deal. So or
a season. Well, for a particular time, somebody who you went to school with, you guys were all in high school together, so that was your friend. But lifetime friends are just that. They're one's friends that become part of the human race who you can be human around. That's a perfect comment of the lifetime friend. So
and not everybody is able to have that. Not everybody gets that luxury. Not everybody has a friend that they have for years and years and years, and that's that's your friend.
Right. Not everybody has that luxury, but I think in order to have friends, you have to be a friend. First and foremost, you have to possess friend qualities. Before you can have a real friend, you have to be a friend. I think that friendships are developed over time and cultivated and tested. There's going to be some times where you disagree with your friends. Do you want to take them to Cancun and murder them? No, you don't. You just stop fucking with them. Just to piggyback on Shanquilla, which threw us into this topic, I just think that there has to be a process where they do get time for this, because I feel like it was an integrated plot against her. I feel like they planned to go to Mexico because they knew Mexico was the place to pull something like this off. The chances of them getting caught was less likely. So that brings even more of the intent. Like, they all gathered around. Like, it can only take one person to kill one person, so you don't need to take a whole trip with the fact that you all congregated and planned this and did this, and the way that it went about, the whole recording
but
of it.
found that out through text messages, and because people are idiots like that nowadays. Everything,
and they have all that. They have the right to go and subpoena people's phones and text messages. Is the United States going to pick up where it needs to go now? Is the question.
It happened in Mexico, and you already know the tensions between the states are what they are.
It's not white, so they're not going to fucking give it up.
These motherfuckers out. You think they ain't keeping that in mind?
Right. I think that it's important to be particular about the kind, because sometimes you might have a friend who really, really likes you until they see you doing better than them. Then their true side might come out. Again, I say people are really good at being fake. So you got to watch the company you keep. But if Mama used to always say, if you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. Mm-hmm. So meaning that to say, and I didn't understand some of the things that she would say when she said it. She said, there's no honor amongst thieves. I would argue her down to that. I say, what do you mean there's no honor amongst thieves? We out here hustling. We locked in. Everybody again. No, there's no honor amongst thieves. Okay.
She also used to say, don't lay down in the gutter.
If you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas.
If you was say for instance, you was to run into some lump sum of money tomorrow, and everybody kind of like heard about it or something. You got $100 million tomorrow, and everybody heard about it. You're gonna have people that didn't really fuck with you trying to fuck with you, and then you're gonna have people that you thought was close being envious of you, and some people are gonna want to try to take advantage of you and destroy you because of that.
Mm-hmm. Right, which is why I want to know before I get the money, but who my real friends are. You know what I mean? Like I'm investigating my circle. I'm investigating my circle now because I know it's coming. You know what I mean? So
I agree with you on that, and I think you said something earlier that really it gives everybody a better edge to be the kind of friend that you want to have, because in order for you to really put that into practice, you got to understand for yourself what it means to be a friend, which is going to make it that much easier for you to recognize false friendship when it's in front of you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because sometimes your friends, sometimes associates, like I said, the word friend gets thrown around so loosely, but people want to see you do good until you're doing better than them. When you're doing better than them, how's your friends really receiving you then? If you are in a motorcycle club and you decide you don't want to ride bikes no more and you jump out, were those people your friends, or were you just have that in common? Do you get what I'm saying? Like certain things that are gonna define friendships. You need to know. Some shit is just circumstantial. It's just because you're in the bike club that all of a sudden you got all these friends that no, they're not your real friends.
No.
And so therefore, the one thing that we have to be mindful of is the real friends that we have, of how we treat them.
Right.
It's
Right.
But you know, things have changed. Things have changed because people, the way the everything goes about now is totally different from back in the day. Social media and the facade that people put up chooses people it makes how people choose their friends. And and they might think, oh, because he's got this or she's got that. Oh, I want to be their friend and da 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 da. That doesn't make a good friend. I'd rather have a broke ass friend that's got my back like a slingshot than a motherfucker who's got money that says, okay, you know.
You know what? I can't blame social media for shit. And the reason why I say that, if we know
You're cutting out.
every day, that's what your dumb ass get. Social media ain't making people do shit. They're weak-minded and lazy-minded, and they don't want to give attention to the shit that's necessary to be a strong-willed individual. That's how social media is influencing them, because they're the type of person that needs to be influenced. They don't want to make their own decisions.
Look at the fact that all of us have a whole bunch of friends on Facebook, right?
I got over 1,000.
Okay.
And I'm 11 people watching. And none of them not people.
That's what I was gonna say. You took the words out of my mouth. They're Facebook friends. They're Facebook friends. Are these people going to show up for your family if you die tomorrow? Are they going to pay their condolences? Are they going to show respect? I mean, some people are not your friends. Right. Some people, again, are just they're circumstantial. So be mindful of the circle that you keep. Rich person once said, you want to see how rich you are, take a look at your circle. Okay. If everybody around you is broke, you're going to be broke. You know what I mean? Take a look at your circle. Is any and even if all the broke motherfuckers that you're around, if everybody's coming up with a legitimate plan, then it can work. You know what I mean? But if somebody's plan is to go rob so and so, the other one's to go bust this check, the other one is to go steal a car, like that's not your friends. They don't have a good idea of where they're going in life. So just be mindful of those type of things. One of the other things I wanted to tap on, just for the younger generation, just for the youth, that we need to keep in mind of what we're sharing with our children is peer pressure. Peer pressure is the influence from members of one's peer group. Check your peer group. Who are you associating with? That's going to determine the type of peer pressure that comes.
Nobody.
Right.
Nobody.
Right. But with the youth, I think that some of them are influenced. You know, you hear about peer pressure to drink, to smoke, to have sex, that's going to determine it. If you're hanging around the wrong crowd, you're going to have the wrong results. That's all I'm saying. So I just want people to.
It's simple, like you said. If you got a smoke buddy and you got an ounce of weed, they're going to be there with smoking with you. And you don't got an ounce of weed and that other nigga got an ounce, guess where they going to be at? With that other nigga smoking with him.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. And that's a fair weather friend. So be on the lookout for those as well. Fair weather friends. Those are the things you got to look out for. That's why that intention, attention, and I forget the other word that was on
tension,
there.
intention, and attention. Yeah.
Yeah, tension, intention, and attention. Those are key things I think we should share with the youth. I think it's vital.
So peers and pupils have to do with sight. You know, we was just talking about peer pressure, shit like that. So some of the things that come up, oh, well, my kids are dealing with this new curriculum that's teaching them about different sexual orientations at school, or my kids are having to deal with, the certain shit that is being exposed to them in the media and social media. Once again, are we in tune enough to understand that we got to beat the world to the punch with our kids? Why? Oh shit! You can't teach my kid that. Shit, you can throw that shit in front of my kid. My kid gamed up. You know, he know mental and social karate moves. You don't believe me? Go on, show him how we get down. Why can't we ever take that approach? You know what I mean? There's no way. There's no way we just have to accept that peer pressure is what it is. Beat them to the punch with your kids. Don't let your kids get peer pressured before we've had conversations with them about shit that we know, because we did it already. We know what they're going to face. You know, we got to really be more proactive, and it'll help to eliminate some of them problems. You know what I mean?
I agree. And
Friendship,
if that means
you got to think it matters to these kids now. It's different because, like, if you don't got J's or you don't got an iPhone, you can't be friends with these friends because you don't have an iPhone and J's. Or if you don't got a certain amount of followers, you know what? I can't fuck with this kid. He's a nobody. Nobody knows them. You know, he don't got but 10 followers on his Instagram or
right,
or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? So all the things they're basing on what makes a person have quality is like really bullshit.
Yeah, because he don't have he's only got 10 ghosts on his Instagram, and I got 1,500 ghosts. Why do I call them ghosts? Because some people see them, some people don't. That ain't no real motherfucker.
Hey,
Okay.
look,
well, and you gotta go quality versus quantity, quality versus quantity. I'd rather have 2 friends that are solid than 10 or 15 friends that are sometime.
Yeah, shout out to the chat once again. We got people making a lot of comments in here, and we know we can't get them all up there, but we appreciate y'all. Shout out to the homie Spade. We appreciate you commenting and the shit you said. You know we love you, bro.
I want to say that too. I love you guys have tapped in almost every one of our shows, and I love that for y'all. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes, indeed.
Yeah, well, and that would be, and so it just made these are people who you've known for a long time, right? So you guys built rapport with these people. These are people who you can actually consider friends, right?
Well, some of the people were in the process of working on that. Like, you know, some of the people in the comments I haven't known for a long time. There's some that I didn't known for shit since I was a kid. It just, you know, but it's all being put into practice no matter who we talk about. You know, the elements are being put into practice. You know, who am I when I step out, and is that reflected when these people interact with me? And vice versa. You know what I mean? Am I looking at them to see what they reflect when I interact with them? It's the same type of shit. You know what I mean?
So he said something about we was ready for that bullshit when we was kids. I don't know exactly what he was talking about.
I think he's talking about the peer pressure shit. Like,
oh, okay.
Because and this is another thing. Like, I do think that that's real, peer pressure, but it's not always negative. Okay. And
no, it's not.
A peer group can pressure you into hey man, this is what we finna do. We was talking about going to sign up for football over here, or we was talking about going over here to do some positive shit. It doesn't always have to be negative. Or it could be, hey man, we talking about taking this step to where we can be prepared for whatever might happen, because we know it's kind of crazy out here in this world. You know, we don't want to go around the corner and get our asses kicked. So let's pretend like we at the Kumite and practice on each other. You know, that's peer pressure, but it's for a reason, a purpose that could be beneficial to us in the long run. You know what I mean? And I think that's what he was getting at, you know.
Oh yeah, we
wasn't getting peer pressured because we handled all that in-house. And I mean, yeah, we did some dumb shit along the way, but
but I think that the important part of what you were saying is that it has to be passed down. We need to continue to pass that down. The same tools that Mama gave us need to be the same tools that we give our kids, and to the rest of the children in the family, or they ain't even children. So because some of them are just, our kids are grown, but we still got to pass that information on. The importance of knowing your circle, the importance of what a real true friend is. I just think that we have to share that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because what can happen is we can, like, a lot of times when we get hurt through a friendship, like, oh, this motherfucker played me. I can't believe he really went and did this behind my back. You know what I mean? I can't believe he really went and did this behind my back. It's because we have duped ourselves into believing that this person had a certain viewpoint of us when we never even went down the checklist to see if it had ever been demonstrated by their actions. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that can happen.
On our part.
That can happen with
That
somebody
right
who
there
you
is
know
why it's
for a
so hard for
lifetime.
me to have
Yeah.
friends. That's why it's so hard for me to have friends, because to make my checklist, it's serious. I'm not playing no games about that checklist.
Okay. So Benet had made a comment. It was up there, but we didn't really get a chance to speak on it. But I think it was a man.
Me up.
It's been a lot of people. Okay, here we go. Right here. Been a lot of comments. The chat is lit. Shout out. Okay, so
Shout out to your guys' friends.
It says people get upset when they view you as a friend because of who you are to them, but you don't feel the same. It may take more for me to call you my friend. Don't get upset about that. No, don't get upset about that. Understand that my acceptance process is a little bit more stringent than yours. You know, it's not a bad thing. It's that if we ever make it to that actual title to where you my friend, you my tribe, however you want to sum that up,
Right.
It needs to be unbreakable. So we're gonna make sure we get to there before I'm
She
saying
said something else too about when you don't say happy birthday to somebody on Facebook and then they get mad because you ain't said something about happy birthday. Where was that one? Let me see if I can find that.
Hey,
It's
It's
on
up
there.
there.
It's on
It's
there.
up there.
sometimes I miss birthdays on family. So if a friend is taking offense to that, they way out of pocket. Because if I didn't say happy
Absolutely.
birthday to my own flesh and blood, motherfucker.
And you know, some days I might be like, you know, I might look at birthdays the same way I look at the American flag. Motherfucker, don't tell me what to do. You know, who
Or
says
not just
I have
that.
to do this? You know what I'm saying?
Not just that. Some of us don't actually go on social media every day.
Right. Myself.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, and this and some people don't. I think one of the good questions is said, I have a question. Are your siblings automatically considered your friend by default?
I can't
Absolutely.
stand none of you, mother. No, I'm
Exactly. I mean, I remember mama having to make us try to make up to one another. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta live here in this show, you gonna write it, and then be like,
Give your brother a hug or give your sister a hug.
and
I
us
hate
four?
that motherfucker. I hate that motherfucker.
I'm trying to tell you, the fact that y'all don't even see the behind the scenes of the show. Like,
absolutely not. Yeah.
but friends by
the
default.
little bit of couth we do got is it's because of the way we was brought up.
We had
Right, and I mean, for us, that does mean it's considered a friend by default. It's an automatic, and that's why I said that I've raised my kids. Your siblings, stay close to them. Your cousins, those are your friends. That's how we were raised, but I don't know how it is in some other households. But yeah, automatically, your sibling can consider your friend by default. I think yes, but if your sibling gets into a different path, then you got to have a good cutoff game in that when necessary. You know what I mean? So I think.
No, I agree. I agree with that because it goes back to what you were saying that day we was talking on the phone, Deeds. Because we was talking about how like dudes will kind of like get into something with somebody over some Mickey Mouse shit and then go back and get their homies and say, let's ride, let's rock. And he was like, basically, that's like me rolling up saying, hey, y'all, I'm out here on some certified hoe shit. And I just figured I'd take all y'all down with me. You know?
Right. Right. Yeah, no, you gotta be better. You gotta be quicker than that.
I'm ready to throw my life away today, nigga. Come on and ride with me on this mission.
I know two people doing life right now because of that.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say. Be careful because there's the other friends, those so-called friend who's not gonna tell you what they about to do. You know what I mean? Who's not gonna tell you
they're about to go do a who ride. Oh
They do
yeah, I'm
that.
gonna come pick you up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come pick you up, and you hop in the car. Next
Yeah.
thing you part of a 187. You ain't. I mean,
Yeah,
or
look,
be
you
mindful.
accidentally
mindful
involved
of
in
that
some
friend.
shit that you'll never get out from.
Right.
Hey, be mindful of the friend who's driving you around town and or ask you to come pick him up, and he's got a gun on him. Now you're on probation. They never even got in the car and said, "Hey, I'm riding dirty today. These
No,
niggas
but that's
trying to
your
kill
bad.
me."
That's your bad if you get into
No.
a car and somebody else's
No.
car. That's your bad. But if they get into your car,
That's
you
what I
gotta
just said.
disclose-
If they get in
yeah,
your
you gotta
car,
disclose
and they
everything
didn't
you
tell-
got on you,
they
motherfucker.
didn't tell you that they had a weapon. That's not your friend. It wasn't until the
no.
cop pulled,
Fuck no.
or if they had a sack, if they had a dope sack.
Right.
Okay, they had a dope sack, and then it was not until you get
Well,
blurted on.
hold
all
on,
of a
though.
sudden,
That depends on the life you're living.
The life
Because
you're living,
there
yeah.
was a certain time frame where if you asked me if I was carrying a pistol, it was like, does a bear shit in the woods? Like,
right,
so it
but here's the
depends,
thing,
on the
I'm
lifestyle
simply
you live.
saying- I'm simply saying the fact that they asked you, you know what I mean? If somebody asks you, you are obligated to tell them the truth. I know people who've gotten pulled over and it wasn't until they got blurted on, hold this sack. Oh, I got to throw this between your seat. No, it's like, hold up, motherfucker. Now, I didn't sign up for
That's
this.
dirty.
You know,
That's dirty to do that to
It's
somebody.
dirty. So therefore, we got to be careful of who we call friends. And I say that, and I'm giving
Yeah,
that
because
scenario.
that type of nigga gonna get the shit beat out of him when we get in the hole.
I've
I
been
moved
through all of those
past that.
situations. I've been through
I
all of
moved
those
past that
situations.
scenario, but I'm just saying we got to think about all those.
Absolutely.
Can you leave your purse and go invite someone to your house, and then your purse is sitting on the kitchen table because that's where you put it and you came home. You go to the bathroom and you end up having to take a shit. Can that person be trusted with your purse being on the table? Stop inviting people to your house. Stop having people around you. Don't have people in your car. I mean, my kids call me paranoid. I don't give a shit. I was told two things. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And I'd rather be a scared chicken than a dead duck. So keep those things in mind today.
No
folks.
doubt. No doubt. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with thinking around the corner,
I'm
especially.
still not gonna leave my purse in the front room any goddamn way. Fuck you.
Well, I'm saying especially when like, if I know that a certain circumstance has a very high likelihood to bring me out of my bag, let me go on ahead and avoid even almost coming close to being in that circumstance, because I don't want to do what I know that I'm probably
You can
Well,
wait in
and
front of my
so
house.
this is the thing, though. That's why I say you got to check your circle. You got to check
Real
your circle,
talk.
because I shouldn't have to think about where I put my purse because I let you come over. I'm just not gonna have you over.
Right.
There, that solves that.
But see, that's what I was saying earlier though. It almost don't matter. It's very few people you can trust that way.
That's real.
That's sad. That's
That's
sad.
real. Yeah.
That's sad.
You know?
My siblings and my kids. That's about it for me.
Right. I know
Yeah.
my wallet will be safe in Tavon's house. Or
Yeah.
something like that. I understand that. I can leave that motherfucker and come back a week later and everything's still gonna be in there.
Right, right.
people's
That's
house-
us.
And here's the thing: if for some odd reason that it's not, we don't got no long list of suspects
Right.
because ain't nobody coming to this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
What we know to be true about us is it's gonna be some furniture moving.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter
absolutely.
if you're the sibling. It's gonna be some furniture moving.
Baby girl, we are hilarious. Man, it goes down for real. We kind of like hold it in because we're trying to be.
Hey, I was gonna say that. I was trying to overlook it. I was like, the rabbit hole runs deep, baby. You have no idea.
Very much tailored for the public.
Because them ones right there are crazy.
This is the good side of us. This is us being good. This is Four Corners legacy, a legacy from whence our mom developed us. You know, we trying to show that
Absolutely.
side that she developed. You know,
Mhm.
And don't get it twisted. I tell my better half all the time, boy,
Ooh,
my
shit.
mama was crazy than a motherfucker. Hey, look, people in hell want ice water. You lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. I'm talking about we had a million sayings that we heard
Real shit.
on a
Real
daily
shit.
basis.
she said. So y'all have friendly fades.
Wasn't nothing friendly about our face.
Hell no.
Y'all
Hey,
better believe that. It wasn't nothing
they
friendly
wasn't
about
friendly
it.
at all.
Windows.
They wasn't friendly at all. Hey, look, and I'm gonna tell you straight up. Yeah, me and bruh had more than we
The
could
price
ever
is
count.
going down.
There wasn't nothing friendly about them.
And don't mistake anything, because see what we didn't do. Oh, that's the youngest. You can't do that. No, the youngest gonna get it like the oldest. And don't. Oh, you a girl. You can't hit. Man, girls fight boys. The oldest fight the youngest. We didn't give a shit. Okay.
And the one, yeah, hell yeah, we in the corner when the bell rings, and then when the bell rings again. I'm definitely there. Okay.
Let me tell you something about us. We could have just pulled one of the other one off the other one and then walk outside and somebody say some shit. Oh, you about to get jumped by 4 people like that fight never even happened. See, one thing about us, we can do something to each other, but don't let nobody else try it, okay? Don't let nobody try it.
Hey, he ain't lying though. He said sometimes I thought somebody was gonna die, but what you was just talking about, mine, that was literally me and D's one time getting it in front of the house, and this nigga walked down the street laughing, and it went from us being on each other's necks to like immediately like fool.
That's all I'm saying.
That going on.
The one thing about us is it's 4 corners on here. Y'all better understand that. And that's what it is. And it's and bigger picture though, it's 4 corners legacy. It's so it's us as the 4 children of our mom who are doing something positive to trying to change the narrative, trying to pick up the pace and do something and move into a right direction so that we can show our children anything is possible. You know what I mean? And that the sky is the limit, and that you can be smart. It's okay to be smart. It's okay to have goals. It's okay to change your life. It's okay. Everything's okay.
It's okay to get on the internet and act a damn fool. You know, it's okay. It's all good. You know. Yeah,
like
as long as you're a tamed fool, we can't be foolish.
Well, we have. If you look at episode 1 versus episode 10, we have tamed down a little bit.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Kind of got it together a little bit.
I done came out my shell a little bit.
I love that too, D's.
Yeah.
You're still hot-headed as fuck though, but it's good.
I mean, anybody watching, they may just think he's like, yeah, he is the beast. It's a bunch of beasts, but he is a beast. He's that picture that's sitting behind him. That's him. But he's also like a big teddy bear once you get to know him. You know, he's got a lovable side as well. And when it comes to intelligence, he's a very intelligent person, but he will intelligently cuss you out like a dog, bite half his lip off, and doing so and smash the table. I mean, I don't know what could happen.
He said that smash the table.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
That's why I thought that was Caesar behind his ass, because that's how Caesar's ass was. Caesar was like, "Oh, okay, you fucking with me."
Right. I love that movie.
I think that today was a good show, though. I think that we have to be able to sometimes disagree on different topics. I think that's what makes us special. I think that we come with 4 different angles. We don't think alike of everything, but the things we do think alike about, that's something that you want to ignite right there. So you know, we're gonna continue to grow. We're gonna continue to glow. And just rise above the bullshit. But yeah, are we crazy?
A little bit.
When we was kids, that's what made us so tight, because we used to whoop y'all's asses when we was kids, and you guys liked it.
He talking about when we used to put on all them clothes and shit.
Yeah.
That's some sick shit right there.
Oh man.
That's some funny shit though. That's some hella funny shit.
Yeah, we had our share of that,
jeans. You know? We put on all the Pop's Army shit.
He said people think I'm a lunatic because of the shit I bring around them for growing up with y'all niggas.
Hey, so like I mentioned earlier, how Lawan had said he was laughing at a certain part of a movie that is not designed to be funny at all. Okay, I really appreciated that because it ain't too many of us that can do that. But the homie right here, he's one of the ones that's in the lineup where you don't feel like you're abnormal for laughing at some shit that ain't really supposed to be funny.
Hey, Spade.
Right, I'm not laughing,
Hey,
and
hey.
I don't like it. And that's one thing where I differ from all three of y'all. Y'all are some blood and guts.
Hey, the part on Chucky where they was at the military school and Chucky loaded the supposed to be fake bullets. He reloaded it with real bullets.
Stop it, guys. Okay, stop it.
No, you know what one I love is on Friday the 13th, part 5 or part 6, and he stuck her head in the nitroglycerin. I mean, and her head froze, and then he smashed her head.
That was one of the most turned up Jason scenes of all time.
Woo!
I freeze them up, and I shatter their asses with my verses. I know where that shit came from.
That shit was hella funny. I thought of you instantly when I seen that, Dee.
Enough is enough. Thank you for sharing, everyone.
Look, hey, that's enough, goddammit.
It's like count to 10. I gave myself 10 seconds to come up with the right thing to say.
Hey, look, I did not raise you guys to be.
Oh shit.
So, anyways, before we get to wrapping it up, because we are about 3 and some change in, which it never seems like it's this long. That's what's so crazy about it.
We just said 2 and some change. We ain't got that. We ain't went that far.
Oh,
Still though, I mean, you know.
Hold on. At the beginning, we said at least 2 hours, so we always knew that there was a possibility that we would go over whatever time we said. We basically just doing what's necessary. As long as people's tapped in, you know, now we got 1 follower, then we know it's time to get the fuck off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To piggyback on the comments, all horror movies are comedy, damn near. At least the old ones used to be. All of them comedy.
Not the ooh, baby.
Leprechaun used to have me dying. Take that gold necklace off that yard jockey.
Oh shit!
Yeah, with I try to be.
Betty, we see you. Oh man, yeah. It's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we glad you tapped in too.
Love you, Nee.
Yes,
we appreciate it. You know,
that was
you
good.
was dropping,
I'm glad
you was
she had a
dropping
lot of good comments.
Hey, you was sounding a little too much like Tavon, though.
What's that say?
I be stuffing you gonna think how I tell you to think. No, I'm playing. Yeah, we appreciate you though. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I might have lost for words, which doesn't happen often.
Freddie wasn't the funniest. Nah.
I'm not doing that.
Freddie was funny too, though. But Freddie was actually scary, and the only reason I say that is because we were actually kids when Freddie came out. So that nightmare shit, that wasn't all that funny.
I'd rather talk about music than movies with you guys.
Oh God. So we got one that was really.
Are you getting scared now?
Y'all know. Hey, look, you know who the scary one is now.
That's me. I already told y'all I'd rather be a scared chicken than a dead duck. Now
hey, I ain't mad. You know.
No, but what's the trick is though? When I went to Sly Park when I was in the 6th grade, and I was like, oh shit. I know Jason is around this motherfucker. Because when I looked out the window, all I seen was trees. I was going,
Yeah. Hey, when you in the real woods, though, like you start having thoughts like, what's actually out here?
Right.
Who is actually out here? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because there's some motherfuckers out there. I can feel every ant's eye. Every motherfucking snake's eye, every raccoon's eye. You know what I'm saying?
That's why, like, when people talk about going camping without bringing, you know,
Guns.
This much
I'll be
orange
like, wait a
juice
minute,
and
we gonna
some
do what
ice.
now? So it don't matter if it's a coyote, if it's a damn bear or a snake or a killer. We just out here, we gonna fight them off with branches, huh? You know?
Hey, nigga walking to the campsite, pistol out.
Oh man.
No, one time we went camping with my ex's family, and we was at Collins Lake or whatever. And it was about midnight, and we laughing loud as all get out. Them motherfuckers was hot at us. Go to sleep! Don't you know? What the fuck? We was laughing so goddamn loud.
Y'all know me. I would have said, I'll burn this motherfucker down. Telling me to be quiet. Yes, I burn this campsite down.
What's in that bag?
Like, fuck you.
Oh man.
Life used to be really funny and good back in the day, though. That's for damn sure. I mean, it's a shame that our kids don't get to have real genuine shit like that anymore.
Right.
Well, I mean,
They don't know how to interact. They don't know how to interact in person anymore.
okay. And I agree with y'all on that. And that's why I'm gonna go ahead and shoot the plug right now for anybody that's tapped in and watching and doesn't know. My boy Lawan Woon Terrell has put out a children's book, and it's called Go Out and Play. And it's talking about that's part of the reason why the kids in this generation have the same sort of existence, because it's not it's not starting at the same level that we did. And if you still on Lawan, go ahead and if you could drop the info on where people could grab that book for anybody that's still got little ones.
Yeah, give me some of that.
For reading that.
I want to be in the movie too, though.
Oh, we are supposed to work on it. I already told him we're supposed to work on a documentary. Hey,
I want to be in the movie too, Lawan.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit. Yeah, but no, just little small stuff like that, because we was never in the house as kids, like, you know, in the house,
whether we had shoes or not.
Yeah, whether it was
okay, and
it was 105 degrees or not.
I want to take a moment, since we still have 11 viewers on here, or I didn't mean to say a number, but the viewers that are still on here, can everyone please be sure to go to our YouTube page and subscribe. We are trying to gain as many subscribers as we can. I need everybody to take a minute, make sure that you're going to YouTube and subscribing. That's what's going, and that's,
we ain't letting you off the hook with that subscription. You got to like, share, and subscribe. Put that shit out there.
Yeah, I mean, and come on, let's help get this show out here, because we talk about important topics. It's a good show. Let's just get it cracking. You know, we need y'all help and continued support.
Okay, there we go right there. So that's the book right there I was talking about. Go Out and Play, and it's available on Amazon, Walmart.com, Barnes and Noble, and Books A Million, and etc. So it's out there. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's out there. You know.
How come I never heard about this book? Other than you, I never heard about the book. Maybe I don't follow him or some. I need to go on my Facebook and see why.
Because he didn't put some post about it on Facebook. It's out there. So, and it's something that's good for, like I said, anybody that's got young people in the house. Look, you want some time where you can breathe a little bit, go and give them that book, and they'll get outside a little more often. You know.
Right. He said, Arika Khan. He said in the house was not an option. That's how
not
we
at all.
Right.
Yeah, not at all.
Hey, look, get out of my sight.
Look. Now I see who it is. What up, Cuddy? What's going on with you?
Exactly.
I didn't know who that was. What's going on with you, bro?
Hey, get out of my sight. Get up out of here. And then when we come in, y'all smell like dogs.
Look, I'm gonna throw this out here also, because I'm really looking forward to this one. Kid or not, I can't wait to read this shit, because it's just on my level. The same type of stuff we were talking about. Know who you are. You know what I mean? And it just makes you less susceptible to some of the shit that comes on from the external, whether it be peer groups or whatever. So I'm looking forward to that one when it drops also. Mm-hmm.
Super different me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chase your dreams, everybody. I mean, if you got everybody's got a story in them. You know, we've all
Absolutely.
been through some things. So I mean, that's the thing. It's about digging deep
I might have-
and figuring it out. You
Do they
know,
still
if
know
you
the
got
slide part?
I didn't play outside when I was a kid, though. I didn't play
They
outside
did.
when I was a
They
kid.
used to still. I don't know if they still go, but they were going not that long
It was
ago.
pretty
And
recent. Yeah, I was just finna say it was pretty recent that I was still
Yeah.
hearing about this shit.
Yeah, they were still, and even the schools that don't necessarily go to Slide Park, they'll go somewhere for that sixth grade.
Yeah, I
Right,
heard
'cause
that. That's what I heard too. They changed it. From
yeah, I
Slide
think that
Park.
they went to DC out here. They went to somewhere in DC, and I was like,
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not letting my kid go to DC. They'd be mad at me.
You want water? There's a hose outside.
Yeah.
for real.
But
Yeah,
I-
No, listen, you know we drank out the water hose, man. We
Right.
stayed drinking out the water hose.
and it wasn't just because we thought it was cool. It was because you open that motherfucking door again, your ass gonna stay inside.
Right.
Okay.
Letting flies
You
in the
got to tell
house.
me again. I will not open the door. I'm drinking out the water hose.
And as a matter of fact, I'm about to leave the block and be gone all the way to no telling where y'all used to go. And
We used to get really, really far on foot.
Hey, she said that water was hella good though. I mean, it was hella warm at first. You know how you turn the water hose on and the water.
You gotta let it run for 10 seconds before you drink it.
Well, we
Oh,
we was some exploring little motherfuckers. Boy.
Yeah, we used to be out there.
yeah, all them little kids used to want to be around y'all, and their parents hated y'all.
What'd you say now?
I said all the kids on our block's family couldn't stand y'all, but their kids loved y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We was the adventurers of the pack.
Absolutely. So them boys, y'all might not come back. You might come back with broken limbs and shit hanging out with you.
Right. Or be like
Except when we was crashing in the houses.
be like Ed, get busted in the head in the rock with a dirt clod fight.
Oh man. Okay, so Miko said we had her falling off a 6 foot. I can't even remember what she talking about, but yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I think that's when they stayed on base housing. Oh,
Hey,
man.
we used to jump out of. You remember the apartments on was it Watt Avenue?
Yeah.
We used to jump out of that second story room window into the grass.
I think I was only like
Hey, no, this is the sad part. A scream didn't stand a chance in our house. Okay,
Right.
did not stand a chance. That's the scandalous part. And if my kids would have did some of the stuff that we did, oh Lord, they would have got killed. But it's like
Look.
it was my fault. Wednesday, parents realized. Oh my goodness.
take it out. Take it down.
Oh shit!
You said you knew how to drive, man.
Hey, you shouldn't have tried to do that donut, motherfucker.
Oh man. Okay, it says, do y'all let y'all kids travel from one side of town to the other like we did back then? No. Well, I will say it like this. I tried to put the fillers out with my kids, but it didn't work out well. You had to have a certain level of
maturity.
Yeah, and it
and there's a fine line because you got to have a certain level of trust for the kid. The older that they get, you kind of have to let them go a little bit. You have to loosen up the reins on them somewhat.
You gotta think,
yeah, I'm not.
We was walking to school when we were like 5. Me and Tavon.
I remember because we had the older siblings, so it's like there was a point in time where we was all going to the same elementary school. So yeah, I remember walking to school. man, it had to be shit. I think I was still in kindergarten or something, and either walking to or from with y'all. One of the two. Yeah, super young.
Yeah, we was out the house at such an early age. They talk all that off the porch shit. Boy, nigga.
Oh, we outside.
Yeah,
Look,
we were off the porch, nigga.
We had already deconstructed the porch. There is no porch.
Yeah, we was off the porch.
Oh, they're trying to turn around.
Yeah, but once again, shout out to everybody for joining in the conversation, and shout out to everybody on the panel as well. I respect y'all, appreciate y'all, love y'all. We had a great conversation, and I look forward to whatever the next topic is. What do y'all
we'll come up with something
about?
Yeah, to our guests, comment and let us know what you'd like to talk about. Some.
What I was about to say. What do y'all think about
this one right here, though, real quick.
Suggestion.
This nigga still scared of dogs.
Hey, she got
hella dogs.
She ain't scared of dogs.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. So yeah, if anybody got something that they would like to talk about or would like to see us talk about, hear us talk about, go on ahead and drop something in the comment section, and we'll circle back to that on an upcoming episode.
I want to say something what Benet just said. She said that walk to and from school is how you discover many life lessons, and that was so true.
Absolutely.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, even the skateboard ride to school is how I learned that you can't stand up straight on a skateboard when you're going down a steep hill. What's going on here? Yes, indeed.
And then you had them houses that like they have in the movies where the motherfucker look like don't nobody live there. Everything all overgrown and
yeah.
Make sure that you guys go and subscribe to our channel. I'm not.
Yeah. So if I don't see the numbers going up, then we ain't gonna come on next week.
we know who our real friends are. No.
Yeah. No, but yeah, though, it's been a good show, and unless y'all want to keep it rocking, I think it's safe to go on ahead and bring it to a close.
Put something in
I
there.
think so.
Video on or something.
Yeah, and it ain't no. I'ma go subscribe. Go subscribe now. Go to Four Corners Legacy. That's a 4. The number 4.
No, it's not just subscribed.
Yeah, I just subscribed. We should see that. I just liked it. I just shared it.
Yeah, and please remember to share it. You ain't got to share it. You can share a clip of it. Just share something, but share. Listen to the show each week. Continue to listen to the show each week. Like, share, comment. We love it all.
We working on some real good shit too. So
we are. It's only growing. It's only up from here. It's up from here.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
What you got for us, T?
So we're gonna go ahead and leave them with something right quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all already know what it is, that Mighty Valley shit out here represented. Let's go, baby.
Raccoon looking motherfucker.
Valley Uno.
Okay.
I see what they trying to do. I know what it's time to do. I rustled it up and set it in front of the ones they've been lying to. I took a hiatus and I came back, feeling like victory was plausible. See the change in their formation, got in the game and called an audible. Blindside sneak attack, let them know that I'm right here. Dipping in and out of lanes like I'm hazy, but my sight's clear. 2020 visionary, master of my craft. I done grind and push it a line until it pays off and I'm bringing it back. To the team, and we gon' split that. Reinvest so the chip stack. Making moves, solidifying my place. I represent sad. Yelling out my name, bro. That's just how the game go. Hustle through the rainy days until you see the rainbow. It won't stop. I make it so hot. I stimulate my mind by puffing on that dro stock. Cali crowd. Imagination's vivid and the city's on my back. Southside, Sacramento, California's where we at. Don't play no games, keep it true. That's what I came to do. Solo dolo mission for the bag and the fame too. Haters feeling salty cause I'm doing what they can't do. All trip, I'm grinding while they sit back. Homie, watch me get that. Youngins acting bad, this ain't no game, dude. Think you need a chill, stick down, your mama raised you. Playing in the field against the rules to get you blazed too. Certified on my side, I ain't gon' sit back. Quote me, I'm gon' get for that. For real, it ain't nothing new. I come from that savage crew. It wasn't for fun, it wasn't for games. We did what we had to do. Back against the wall, determined we wouldn't fall though. Sticky situations, we made it, stood through it all, bo. Listen, it's a cold game, blowing on that propane. Seem to be the only escape to my inner soul, man. Examine my intentions, check my motives, reaffirm my devotion. Now that the wheels are set in motion, it won't be stopped and I'm coasting. All the way to the finish line. Hey, if you want, I'm getting mine. Believe it, my hunger is stronger than most. Getting close to dinner time, I win if I spit it. I'm committed to take no days off. Build up my knowledge in the game, boy, I won't be played soft. Mama always said the world is yours, now just get up and go get it. It's only a dream if you stay asleep, so I woke up on a mission. One in the hole, so ain't no click. Flag, driven by getting big stats, counting it down like T-2, 1, get gon' play no games, keep it true, that's what I came to do. Solo dolo mission for the bag and the fame too. Haters feeling salty cause I'm doing what they can't do. All trip, I'm grinding while they sit back. Homie, watch me get that. Youngins acting bad, this ain't no game, dude. Think you need a chill, stick down, your mama raised you. Playing in the field against the rules to get you blazed too. Certified on my side, I ain't gon' sit back. Quote me, I'm gon' get that.
All right, we'll see
Period.
y'all next week.
Period.
Appreciate you, everybody for tapping in. Yes,
Wes.